has to be tested before it can become righteous, either through obedience or it becomes sinful through disobedience. So the free will was left with them.
Yeah, but you're not understanding me at all. You're not understanding me at all.
No,
Disobedience. No. Trust me, I am. Disobedience is not a good thing. It is considered bad. Okay. If it's considered bad and they are perfect. Okay. Again, if they were truly perfect, they would always do the righteous thing.
No, because then you negate free will. And what I'm trying to tell you
No, that doesn't negate free will, because again, in this here, let me give you the reason why it doesn't negate free will. Okay,
because you're jumping the gun. You're not understanding.
No. Can I give you a reason why it doesn't negate free will?
Well, can I give you a reason why it does?
Well, I mean, you won't be able to know my reason,
right? Again, do you understand the difference between righteousness and innocence?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that?
Innocence just means hasn't engaged in a flaw yet, but can be corrupted. It's going to relate to, okay? And that's not perfect, okay? Can be corrupted as a flaw, okay? That's the idea that I'm referencing, okay? So the reason why it doesn't negate free will is because if I were to ask you today, right, can I do the right thing every single time today? Can I not sin today? Is that possible?
As of now, already in the fallen nature, no.
There's no probability, so it's logically impossible for me to not sin today.
That's right. Well, maybe for one day you can't, but I mean, if we're talking about even our thoughts.
Okay, so for one day I can, it's possible. Okay, if I were to ask you that tomorrow, would the question be yes? That I can also choose to not sin that day?
No, what I'm trying to say is it depends what your definition of sin is. My definition is
the same definition you go off of.
Okay, as of even a thought. I don't believe that you can go every day without sinning. No.
How? Wait, so there are sins that are non-volitional.
What do you mean?
We don't choose to do them. That even if we didn't have free will, we'd still engage in them.
Physically or mentally?
What? That doesn't answer my question.
No, but that's a question. I'm asking you this question so that I can better answer your question.
I don't see why that distinction. I don't even understand what that distinction would relate to.
Ask your question again.
I don't remember actually. You kind of just threw me off with that question because I was confused as fuck.
Sin starts in the heart and in the mind, is what I'm saying. So if you were going to go a day without sinning, you would have to have perfect thoughts, always good, never anything wrong.
Is that possible?
That is not possible.
Do I control those thoughts?
Well, they come from your heart. So yes.
I do. If I control it, then I have the ability to do the right thing, right?
They will come in, right? Because of sin already.
Do I have the choice to do it or not?
To think about it, you have the choice to reject it.
Yeah, I do. If I have the choice to reject it, that means I can reject it, right?
Right, but what I'm saying
is... so if I can reject it, and I were to ask you in every single action in my life, could I reject sin? Would you say that I can do it?
I would say no, because by nature you have sin in you.
No. That was logically entailed. Okay. So if I, in this circumstance, were to ask you, what would be relevantly distinct between that's the circumstance right now in my life and any other point in my life that means that I can control whether or not I sin now, but I cannot control what I sin then?
Dude, I'm not following you, man.
Okay. You were making a claim that I cannot control whether or not I sin later in my life, but I can control it right now.
I never said that.
That's what you just said.
No, I never said that. What I'm saying is because you're born in sin, you're always going to have sin in your thoughts and in your heart.
Yeah, but I have the ability of whether or not I would actually sin, right?
Physically, that's what I'm talking about. You mean bring it outside of your body to act on it?
Yeah.
You have that ability not to act on it for sure.
Oh, okay. So if I were to ask you that with every single action in my life, right, would the question or the answer still be the same? That yes, I can in every single scenario.
No, well, physically or mentally. That's what that goes back to that.
Physically,
most probably not, because you're at one point going to make a choice to fall physically.
Most probably not, but you can. It's possible. Like there's some level of probability, even if how minuscule it is.
No, because there's always, again, what I believe, that spiritual world, there's always a tempter, and people are drawn away by their own lusts and their own passions, and you will fall, and you will bring it to manifest through your body. But again, that doesn't matter, because what I'm saying is that sin starts in the heart. That's the only reason that it would ever even manifest at one point. So talking to me about a life of sinlessness outside the body doesn't matter when sin resides inside the body.
Can you tell me what's relevantly distinct between right now and between the future? Now, that means that right now I can control what I do, but in the future I cannot control what I do.
I never said that, man.
In terms of my actions.
No, at certain scenarios, depending how spiritually strong you would be, you may be able to control it, versus other times you may not be able to control it.
Is the probability point? It could be 0.000. I'm just asking. Is it even just like somewhat possible, right?
I
like
don't know.
In the sense that, hold up, let me finish. In the sense that like 0.000000000000000000001%, right? Like it could even be that. I don't care. I'll accept anything. Any level of probability.
That you can never sin again?
Yeah, that I would never sin today, and I could ask you that question for the rest of my life, right? Every single day, I would just choose not to sin.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. You're going to sin.
There's 0% probability.
Yep.
Well, okay, so I don't have free will then. That's essentially what you're telling me.
You do have free will, but
then I would be able to choose to do the right thing.
No, because you don't understand the spirituality.
So if I have a 0% chance of being able to do the right thing, then I don't have free will. That's like literally what your view is. Okay?
But what I'm saying is that free will, you've already chosen to sin, and you've become bondage to sin. That's why Jesus said,
so I do have the choice. If I have a choice, what does that indicate, right?
Listen, but now
hold on. No, build on truth. I want you to get this point.
No, I want you to get this point.
The choice indicates that it's either this or that. Determine one or the other. Okay. So that implies that you have two different choices, right?
And this is what Jesus says. Don't you know to whom you obey, you become a slave, either a slave to sin or a slave to righteousness. You don't understand that you're under a spiritual law of sin and death. And that's why you've already used your free will, and you've fallen, you've become in bondage, and you need to get out of that bondage. And you will never be perfect until you have a resurrected body. So the answer is 0, brother. That's why it's a gift of God when he washes away your sin. But I got to get on with life right now.
Again, you're literally telling me that I cannot do the right thing, which means I wouldn't have free will. If you want to leave, that's fine. But like, that's literally no free will.
Life goes on, man. I got to go right now. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you that it lasted this long. I appreciated the conversation. But yes, I do have to go right now.
For sure. All right, everyone, if you like the content, make sure to follow me. If you've already tapped that screen, let's try to get to 250,000 likes, everyone. If you help get it out to more people, share the live, everyone. Let's try to get to 500 shares, everyone. But let me go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. If you think that being gay is wrong or immoral, y'all. All right, give it a second, everyone. All right, let me go to the next person, y'all. It's for some reason not accepting this person. Give it 1 minute, everyone. 1 minute. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yeah, and I'll start with what do you define as
what's
wrong?
Your birth year?
2005. I'm not lying about being 18, bro.
No, you're good. I'm just making sure. So sorry, say that again.
So where do you think we get our sense of right and wrong, and what do you think the definition?
Preferences, and then what do I think is the what?
Like, what would you define as something that's wrong in this sense?
Something that like you shouldn't do, right?
Something you shouldn't do. Okay, and then I'll start because I can't back this up. If God doesn't exist, then it doesn't matter if it's wrong. Like we're flesh. So do you believe in there being a possibility of a God or higher being?
Depends on what that higher being you're referencing is.
A perfect being, anyone. A morally perfect being. Okay, then there's no reason we should be having this argument. If you don't believe there's a possibility.
Why do you leave, bro? Like I at least ask for the argument, right? Like there's a contradiction. That's why, but okay. All right. Well, they just literally left. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. All right, it's not accepting this person. I'm going to try the next one. Everyone, only send a guest request if you disagree. By the way, everyone, tomorrow we will be back on the main account, everyone. So I'm glad to be back there. I can't wait. Can't wait, everyone. Okay, for some reason it's not accepting people. Give it a second, y'all. I'm going to go to the next person. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. He gave up quick last time. Did he come on before? He literally got suspended, you guys. He didn't leave. No, who didn't leave? No, no one got suspended on my live today so far. Not a single person. I can't even speak. He said a slur last time? Really? What? Bruh. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, 2004.
Okay, for sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yeah, I do. All right, I just have like a theory here, right? I don't know
what's your age though?
18.
18. So what month?
December 2004.
December. You know that doesn't really add up, bro.
What do you mean? 2005 would be 17. 2004 is 18.
No, I'm kidding. I'm trolling with you, dude.
Bro, what the fuck? All right, so I got a theory here, right? I just want to see how easily it can get shut down, right? So I was thinking and shit, like, if everybody in the world was gay, you know, then there'd be like no babies. I mean, sure, you can go to like I don't know, like sperm donor or something, but like in the same way, like a disease, you know, like it kills off everybody, right? If everybody has the disease, like if it's fatal. So my theory is like, if everybody was gay, then like everybody, like there'd be no babies made. Humanity would die. You know what I'm saying?
So that would be assuming that gay people, first of all, don't want to procreate at all through IVF, right? In vitro fertilization. Secondly, gay people throughout history have engaged in intercourse with the opposite sex to produce children. That has happened, right? So I appreciate the glowing jellyfish. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Kate. So, I mean, gay people aren't infertile. So clearly speaking, there'd be some level of reproduction, right? But even if I were to assume that reproduction wasn't possible, it's not going to be the case that that's going to matter, right? As like, for example, do you think it's immoral to be celibate?
Celibate?
Yeah.
Wait, what's celibate?
I don't engage in intercourse.
Is it morally wrong? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, is it morally wrong to not engage in intercourse?
No, not at all.
Wait, but if everyone was celibate, we wouldn't be able to reproduce.
Right, exactly, bro.
So why wouldn't that mean that it's wrong then? Because again, you're saying that it's wrong to be gay or to engage in gay intercourse, but it's not wrong for someone to be celibate, even though they both lead to no reproduction.
Yeah, that's true, bro. See, I was just seeing if that shit could be shut down easily, bro. I appreciate it.
For sure, bro. You shouldn't come on though. I don't like devil's advocates. Don't like devil's advocates. Please don't come on if you're devil's advocating everyone. Just looking for some debates, y'all. Just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Fuck gay people.
How old are you? Okay, they left. Okay, all they wanted to do is just say that. Okay. Well, I guess they would have to be gay to do that if you think about it, right? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Like if they wanna F gay people, right? Sounds like they're probably gay themselves. I don't think they said what they wanted to say. Because like honestly, what I heard was a statement telling people to do that with gay people. You know what I mean? So they just told gay people to have sex. That's what it sounds like to me. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
Fuck knows.
That's tough, bro. Someone literally said it like 2 seconds ago, and you couldn't even listen. It's like when you don't listen to the thing that was just said in class. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
16.
You got to be 18 plus to join the live. TikTok rules. TikTok rules, everyone. 18 plus. TikTok rules, y'all. The content. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay, they're not here. All right, we're going to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you disagree. Again, chat, we're just looking for debates, everyone. Just looking for some debates. I don't know why it's taking a second to get people up here. Just give it a second, everyone. We're getting all like the trolls and stuff today and the non-convos. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Parker, your mic? What about my mic? Did something happen with my mic? Did they unplug? Oh, here, I can fix it. Yeah, I appreciate the Galaxy. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 30.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I wouldn't say it's wrong because that'd be just my opinion. But what typically, what are you here for on this earth? A human. What are you?
Wait, no, so I am actually asking for your opinion, by the way. But I mean, it depends on what you're referencing.
Well, I wouldn't say it's wrong as far as individually, you're supposed to do what you want to do with your body. But as far as, you helping yourself create more humans, yeah, it ain't right. I mean, me personally, I got a little brother that's gay. I don't mind. I don't care what you do with himself. I don't care what you do with you. But if, let's say hypothetically, if humans start to just dwindle away and everybody start to become gay, how are we going to reproduce and get more humans to get on the earth? You can't do that by being gay. But as far as morally wrong, no, do what you want to do. Yeah, that don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? I can be with my brother and his little gay boyfriend. I can be around him. I don't care about that. That don't bother me. But as far as it being right, as far as to repopulate the earth, no, it's not. But to do what you want to do with your own self, go ahead. Yeah, have at it.
So gay people can reproduce through things like IVF, in vitro fertilization, by providing sperm and eggs, right? And then they can implant it to a surrogate and produce children that way, like even biologically, right? So there's no issue when it relates to that. One, two, also, right? Even if we were to assume that like you can't reproduce, I appreciate the roses. Thank you so much. Do you think it's like wrong for someone to be celibate?
Wrong to be celibate? No, because if she's celibate, I'd buy a bit. But I'm just bullshitting. No, that was a joke. But no, I don't. But when you're celibate, you're saving yourself for a particular person or reason.
Oh, no. Like I just full for the rest of life. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much.
You mean more so like
never like a pope?
Yeah, like a pope or something like that.
Appreciate the rest. Thank you.
You can do what you want to do, but that person is still not helping to repopulate the earth.
So are they doing something wrong?
I mean, what else would you be here for? Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing something wrong?
Yeah, I would feel so, because ain't no human here that you're not supposed to populate. Even if you can't populate, your body is made to repopulate. That's what you're typically here for.
So nuns and the Pope are doing something wrong just by not engaging with other people?
When you say wrong, again, you're asking me my opinion. My opinion, yeah, because you're wasting your sperm, you're wasting your eggs on them not
Mila, I appreciate the rose. Thank you so much.
Your eggs aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and your sperm is not doing what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
So you're wasting it.
So you're going outside of the context of some sort of natural purpose. Okay, so I have a question, right? What natural purpose determines that I can kiss people with my mouth?
What natural purpose?
Yeah, because I mean, that's not a natural function that we would necessarily relate to. We'd probably relate to
Why would you say it's not natural?
Well, it's not like the functions that you'd relate to with like breathing or like eating food or like speaking. Mila, I appreciate the rose. Thank you so much.
Speaking and kissing are something that your mouth is made to do.
How do you know your mouth was made to kiss?
I mean, you do it.
Well, okay.
I mean, how do you know
so people were made to engage in anal intercourse because they do it.
Say that again.
People were made to engage in anal intercourse because they do it.
But of course. But you asking me, do I think it's wrong? That's what you asking me?
Yeah, so what makes you think that one is wrong and the other one isn't? Because both of them. So what says that someone not having kids means that they're going again? Actually, here, I'll just ask you this question: Is it wrong for someone to engage in gay intercourse and then to produce children later on?
Again, no. I mean, you are helping the earth. No, but as far as only just doing that and you never to have a kid, you're wasting.
Oh, so if two people in a gay relationship have kids through IVF, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, it is. Typically, it is fine, but still in all, like, you wasting the fun part. You wasting the whole fun. The fun part
How?
is to go in a vagina and to see that 9 months and that stomach kick, and you wasting.
Well, you get to see the 9 months with someone who's a surrogate. I appreciate that, Little Crown. Thank you so much.
I mean, yeah, but still, again, to me personally, I feel like you're just wasting the fun part by giving it to somebody to put in this woman. I mean, that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so lesbians wouldn't be missing the fun part?
I mean, I know a couple lesbians that actually did miss the fun part because she only messed with girls and she went and got.
They can still go through surrogate, but like the point is that you can do it yourself. Appreciate that they had a mustache. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. But shit, why spend 10,000 or whatever how much it costs when you could just have a night of fun? You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't really be fun for someone who's not attracted to it. Appreciate the rose. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I just seen your video quite a few times, and I try to get inside this debate. You know, I see a lot of people get on here and talk about religion. I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in no religion, none whatsoever. All of them. I think religion is division. So when people get on here and they say, "Oh, it's against God," yeah, actually, God did some fucked up shit. So you can't really say what he's against and what he's not against, or she, whatever it might be to them. But me personally, I just think that, it's wrong because you're not helping the world reproduce. But if you actually do, you and your boyfriend actually go get whatever.
I'm not gay.
Okay, well, that's cool too. Well, I just said you and your boyfriend, but I mean, I'm not either. But like I tell people, I don't care what other people do. Let them be them, you know. But if you actually do use what your sperm is supposed to be used for, then that's cool too. You're helping the earth. You know what I'm saying? You're helping your humanity repopulate. That's my outlook on things.
Okay, so it's not about being gay. It's just reproducing.
Yeah, it's the natural what your body is naturally supposed to do.
Like if being gay isn't wrong, engaging in gay intercourse isn't wrong. It's only just not reproducing.
I don't see it as wrong as far as on a moral standpoint. I just see it morally. I mean, I just see it wrong as you're not naturally doing what you're supposed to do. But again, I can still argue at that point and say, who the fuck says it's natural? You know? But I just know that a woman's supposed to carry a child and the man's supposed to give it to her. You get our point?
Well, I mean, we can dispute that type of stuff. It doesn't sound like you necessarily disagree then. When it relates to the standpoint. I mean, I disagree with your point, but like, you're not saying that like engaging in gay intercourse or that being gay is like wrong, at least in a moral sense. So, is there anything else you'd like to add or talk about?
Nah, I just want to get on. I've been trying to get on your shit for like fucking 3 weeks.
Appreciate the segue. Thank you so much. I apologize. I literally just like select that random. So
yeah, it's all good. Hey, stay
I appreciate
up,
coming
bro.
on. Thank you for the crown. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, we're going to go to the next person. Again, if you disagree, make sure to send a guest request right now. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 250,000 likes. Mila's going crazy with the roses. Knox with the train. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Knox. Thank you very much. By the way, everyone, tomorrow we should be back on the main account. So tomorrow I will be on and we'll be back for a very long time tomorrow on the main account. But yeah, if you like my content, follow me if you haven't already. Tap that screen, everyone. What's up, Dean, bro? Mila, again, I appreciate all the roses. Thank you so much. We're going to go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. Yo, Matt, thank you for the travel with you. I appreciate it, bro. W, Matt, let's go. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. Again, we're just looking for some debates, y'all. Just looking for some debates. All right. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I don't really think it's immoral. I just think it's wrong.
So what's the difference between wrong and immoral?
You see, now there is really no key difference in like wrong and immoral. I think the main difference that makes gay being quote unquote wrong is not just the fact that they're gay. Being gay is like fine. It's just the fact that they have gay intercourse. Is that what makes it?
Oh, okay, yeah. So what's wrong with gay intercourse?
Because it's not what the human body was designed for.
Oh, so God.
Yeah, I am a big I'm a pretty Christian guy, you could say.
No, a pretty Christian guy. Can you tell me where in the Bible it says that marriage is only between a man and a woman?
It doesn't say that, and I never said gay marriage was wrong. I just said that having gay intercourse.
So you believe that it's okay to get married when you're gay?
I personally don't care about it, so I'm just gonna say yeah.
Okay. Do you think that marriage within intercourse is wrong? I mean, intercourse within marriage is wrong. Sorry, my brain.
If you're gay, then yes.
Okay. So what scripture do you use for that?
Well, I don't really use a scripture for that. There's really no scripture to use for that.
Exactly, right?
Okay. I think I see what you're doing here. You think just because I'm Christian, I'm basing my whole argument off the Bible. I'm not basing my entire argument off the Bible. So my points will come from the Bible, but the whole argument will not be for the
Wait, but it's compatible with being Christian that you can get married when you're gay and engaging intercourse, and that's not immoral.
Just because it's compatible with the Bible does not mean that it's from the Bible. My opinion differs.
Well, it sounds like it's just as valid as any other interpretation.
Okay, just because it's valid, that doesn't mean that it's my interpretation. I don't really see where you're going here.
Well, I mean, what's to justify your interpretation of the Bible over this interpretation I just named?
Okay, I had to think for a second. So what you're doing essentially is asking me questions about where in the Bible does it say. My thing is I'm not basing my argument off the Bible. So what is the point of bringing up?
Wait, you're Christian.
My argument.
You're Christian.
So,
how do you understand God?
Everything I have to do and bring up is from the Bible. That is
well, most of it does. It's the foundation that's how you determine God's nature, the characteristics of God.
I know this. I just sat here and told you just because I'm Christian, my whole argument is not going to be based upon the Bible.
Okay. So you're going to disagree with the Bible?
I never said I was disagreeing with the Bible. I just said my argument.
So you still agree with the Bible, right?
On a fundamental standpoint, yes.
Okay, that's what's relevant.
Okay, so can you ask the question again so we can restart this because I don't know what that was.
Yeah, so how do you justify your interpretation of scripture over mine, like the one I just named out?
Pardon?
Yeah, how do you justify your interpretation of scripture, right? That says that it's wrong, right? Over this interpretation that I just named, that says it's not wrong.
Okay, so the thing is with gay intercourse, it is merely wrong for the fact that it's not what the human body was made for. Well, you can find instances in nature where, having gay intercourse is part of what they do in a societal standpoint. But even though they do that, it's just not natural, period.
Wait, so what do you mean by natural?
Well, by natural means that let me figure out a way to word this. Well, let's just say for the purpose of having kids or something.
Okay, so if I engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile, right, is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong because that's partially what the human body was made for.
Yeah, but it doesn't lead to reproduction.
Okay.
So it's not natural.
It is natural because that's what the human body was
But
made
it doesn't
for.
lead to reproduction.
Okay, but the intent was to lead to reproduction. If you and another man got
No, it
together,
wasn't because I knew that she was infertile.
To reproduction, the intent
Wait. If I know that she's infertile, then how could the intent be for reproduction?
Okay, but what if you don't know that she's infertile?
Okay, well, I'm talking about a scenario where I do. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much.
Well, what if you do? Technically, it still would not be wrong because at the end of the day, it's still a woman.
Okay, so it's about them being a woman. It's not about the fact that it's natural.
Well, it's natural for people to be for the opposite sex to be attracted to women.
Man, it's also natural for the same sex to be attracted to the same sex.
And I was just about to get into that. While I do think that it is natural for people to be attracted to the same sex, I don't think it justifies having sex with
Sure. I'm not just saying
sex.
because something's natural, it means it's justified. What I'm saying is that there's no reason that there's a consenting adult relationship between two individuals who are gay. There's no reason why that's wrong.
Well, I think it is wrong. Because
what's the
because for
reason?
the main purpose of reproduction is to have kids. How are you going to reproduce with the opposite sex?
Wait, you're
Like
not
it
trying
makes
to
no
reproduce by engaging in intercourse. The same way that when I engage in intercourse, I'm not trying to reproduce.
but that's literally the point of sex.
No, that's one point. It's not the only point. Don't you think there's a note? Wait, so after you've produced children and say your wife is infertile now, right? After you've already produced children, right? Would it be immoral for you to engage in intercourse knowing that it's not going to lead to reproduction?
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, but but that's not going to lead to reproduction. What was the purpose of it? What was it meant for there?
Well, okay. So what I'm going to say is going to be
Pleasure.
very contradictory, but it
was for emotional connection.
Yeah, I was going to say emotional and physical, but it can be applied both ways. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it cannot be applied both ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But still, at the end of the day, I think it's wrong. Okay. I'm going to think of an analogy. It's probably going to be like retarded because
oh my God, bro.
I'm tired. Okay.
Bro, why do people just like all right, we're gonna go to the next person, everyone. I don't know. People just literally say that so casually. I just don't understand it. All right, yo, what's up, Paul?
People just literally say that so casually.
We got such an echo. Echoes up. Echo the fuck up. Echo the fuck up. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah. Do you? What's your birth year?
May 31st, 2005.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I personally, I don't have a problem with it, but I'm a big Christian, so from that point, I believe it's wrong.
You're a Christian, you said? You said you're Christian, right? Hello?
Oh, do you hear me?
You said you're Christian, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so why are you Christian?
I grew up in a Christian household and built my foundation on what the Bible believes and just how to treat people more in the New Testament than the Old Testament, though, because a lot of rules changed from the switch.
Mm-hmm. What are the first 3 books of the New Testament?
Are you testing if I'm a Christian or not?
No, I'm just asking.
Well, I thought we were talking about something else.
Oh, no, I'm just asking. I was gonna just question if you've read the New Testament.
Oh, why are you? I read Mark, Luke, and John, the main ones like that. I'm 18. I haven't gone through the whole Bible. But if you want to test my Christian knowledge, that's not really what I'm here for.
Well, sure. I was just gonna question that to see if you know anything about it, right?
No, that's all right. I was just earlier you were saying asking for scripture within the Bible where it says sexual intercourse with people.
Yeah, go for it. Give me a verse.
Leviticus 18:22.
That's Old Testament. By the way, when you're paused, I can't hear you.
I'm paused. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you. So go find the verse and then you can come back.
All right, I'll catch you.
All right, everyone, tap that screen. Let's try to do 250,000 likes. If you disagree, send a guest request right now. Let's try to get to 500 shares, everyone. We'll help get it out to more people. Oh, he just left. All right, we're gonna go to the next person in the meantime. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. Just looking for some debates, y'all. He forgot Matthew. Yeah, he did. He got 2/3. Honestly, that's why I was oh, it's okay. Honestly, if you could just give me a few of them, that's all I was asking for. I don't need all of them, honestly. Lana, I appreciate the hearts. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I did not mean to click that.
You're good. Don't worry. Appreciate you coming on. All right, let's go to the next person, everyone. Again, only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I do think it is wrong in a sense.
In what
and
sense?
I'll lay out my whole debate.
Wait, do you hold the view yourself?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Do you believe in demons?
No.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Are you agnostic?
Yeah.
So do you believe in a higher power?
No.
Isn't that what agnostic is?
No, agnostic means I don't know.
All right. Well, here's the whole view on it spiritually. You don't even have to be a Christian to agree. So, even since ancient civilizations, there are demons that usher in these homosexual energies. And it's not just homosexuality, it's all these evil things. They are controlled by demons.
So how do you know that you're not being controlled by a demon?
Well, you don't. That's why, as a spiritual Christian...
So you're just as likely to be controlled by demons as gay people?
Yes, everyone is.
Okay, so what's to make you think that they're being controlled rather than you're being controlled? If it's just as likely, it's literally just as likely. So,
well, so the thing with that is, we are supposed to get deliverances, which get rid of demons in the Christian faith.
Yeah, but how do you know that they actually get rid of them? Couldn't that just be like a demon that manipulated the person who wrote that down in the Bible?
No, well, this is a spiritual aspect that no one really speaks on because it's hidden.
But it was written down by humans, right? It wasn't God.
There are a lot of demonology books, like, for example...
I mean, but couldn't the Bible be a demonology book, but it's just with the guise of actually being Christian?
Actually, King James was a popular demonologist. He studied demonology.
Yeah, and how close was it to the Bible? Very close. Appreciate the chasing the moon. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. W's in the chat, everyone. Appreciate it, Elliot. Thank you.
So, even ancient civilizations believed in these demons or gods and worshipped them. This has gone back for thousands of years.
What's to make you think that yours isn't just another one of those?
No, well, all right. So we're going to get deep into this. The Bible, and not only the Bible, I've studied Omnism. I'm a recent born Christian, right? Was atheist basically my whole life growing up. Did not care for God, you know. Many religions share this one thing, this one similarity, and that is fasting. And the Bible tells you to fast and pray. And who do you know that fasts?
Yo, Elliot, I appreciate the well diving. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the sunglasses. I appreciate it,
The problem nowadays is that nobody is spiritually adept. Everyone's spiritually lukewarm. They're spiritually dead.
So you are too?
No, well, I fast. I pray. I do things in my life that will further my spiritual knowledge and strength.
But that's in accordance with what's written down in the Bible. So when I asked the question, is the Bible something that could have been influenced by the devil rather than being influenced by God? Or then couldn't you say that you're under the same guise as other individuals are under?
It's possible, which is why I don't say that the Bible isn't flawed, because it was written by humans. Although they were claimed to have the Holy Spirit guide them in writing this.
Couldn't that just been the devil? The holy demon?
I guess it's possible.
Yeah, so like that. I mean, what's to say that it would be that it was the Holy Spirit rather than the holy demon?
Well, that's where you get into more spiritual aspects, as in, principles and values and experiences you have in your own life. And spirituality is very individualistic, so I can't tell you what to expect.
How about this? What would be your response to this? Let's say that I had a faith. I just decided to spawn in a faith, right? Yeah. And my faith is in a religion in which this God that created the universe, right? It created religions like Christianity to be able to suck people's souls, right? It's an evil God, right? And it wants to harvest your soul. Okay. So it created all these religions, and if you have faith in them, it's harvesting your soul, right? So all the people who do not have faith, they get saved and they go to like some paradise, right? And all the people that do not get, do have faith, right, in this God, they go to hell and they get their soul harvested by this demon God, right? What justifies your religious belief over mine?
Well, that's why I say it's individualistic. So personally, I fasted and prayed. I was led to Christianity. I can't tell you like what it's going to lead to in your life unless you do that spiritual work and strengthen your spirituality and your knowledge. And this, I can kind of lead this into science.
So there's nothing differentiating these views. These views are just as valuable in terms of knowledge.
Well, certain aspects, there's definitely a lot of truth in various religions, like I said before.
No, the one that I just mentioned. Appreciate the money gun. Thank you so much. The one I just mentioned, where again, right? If you have faith, you get sent to hell because you get your soul harvested. If you don't have faith, then you go to some paradise.
Well, I don't think it's solely faith-based, which is why
I meant like in Christianity and stuff.
Speaking on the more spiritual aspects. And there's a YouTuber, Isaiah Saldivar and Vlad Savchuk, who go into this and they explain how Christians nowadays are very spiritually watered down. Like, yes, you can read the Bible. Yes, you can pray.
Wait, Raw Agent, what did I just say to you? Can you repeat what I said?
You just said all these religions that are faith-based. I explained I'm not solely based on faith when it comes to this. That's why I bring up the spiritual aspect.
No, what did I say?
Well, you asked something about having faith, and those who have faith go to heaven, those who don't go to hell.
Yeah, faith in Christianity, and that's the religion that I decided to believe in. So what separates your religious belief from my religious belief to say that yours is justified and mine's not justified?
Like if we're both Christian...
I'm not. No, in this sense, I wouldn't be Christian. In this sense, my religion says that if you are Christian, you go to hell. Right? And if you're not Christian, then you go to heaven. This is a different religion. So what justifies your religion over mine? My religion, how do you know that mine is unjustified and that yours is justified? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, I personally believe mine is justified because I have the spiritual discernment.
Okay, what if I were to say that I have the spiritual discernment that I'm right?
Well, that's where it gets tricky with spirituality because I can't tell whether or not you're spiritually...
Yo, Trinity! Yo, thank you. I appreciate the Rosa Nebula. Thank you so much. W Trinity's in the chat, everyone. Holy shit. Yo, I appreciate it, Trinity. Thank you so much. That was fucking wild. I really appreciate that, Trinity. W Trinity in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. That's wild.
But like, as I was saying, I can't necessarily fully 100% tell, you're spiritually adept, so whatever you're saying holds weight, you know? I can believe in myself.
Can I say the same thing about you?
Yeah, you can, but...
Okay, so like it seems like our beliefs are just as justified, right? My views just as applicable as yours.
In a sense, but when it comes down to the spiritual aspect, there are telltale signs. It's a lot of it is through personal experience, and I don't know. So I see a lot of these atheists or like non-believers, agnostics. They have pretty bad lives, you know. They have horrible mental health.
Tell me how my life is bad.
Well, not necessarily you. I don't.
No, I'm an agnostic atheist. Let me know, just because my atheism, how my life is bad. I'd love to hear it.
Well, I don't know about your personal life.
Appreciate the corgi. Thank you so much, P.
But I'm just saying.
Do I seem unhappy?
I not at this current moment, no. But I'm saying a pattern that I recognize. It's always the people who are depressed and have not the best lives that tend to go against God. And I mean, I understand.
Do you not see the people who are depressed that turn to God? Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. I literally hear all the time about how people like literally take their religion. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. And their whole religion is based in their mental health. Okay. Like that's literally like the whole basis of their perspective and their faith. Okay. So like this idea that like it's people who are emotional and like depressed who are not religious, I think is clearly just not something that we see is only applicable to non-religious people. It's very applicable to religious people.
Well, definitely. I think God has to break certain people down in order for them to say, all right, maybe I need to go to God instead of, diverging into self-pleasure. There's a lot of drug addicts, food addicts, a lot of people who suffer from things because they divulge into self-pleasure. They tend to go to God when they're at their lowest.
Patrick, thank you so much for the garland. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's kind of a point where, you're defeated. God comes to you at your lowest because you need God.
Can't God make it so that you come to God through more positive mechanisms?
See, imagine you're a rich person. You have a great life. You have everything you need. Why would that person just all of a sudden go to God?
Because they want love.
Well, what if they already get love? They have everything they need. Why would they say?
So God has to put us in a state of dependency where we need God in order for us to want God.
Well, it's not.
Isn't that coercive? Doesn't that kind of go against free will? I appreciate the superpower. Thank you so much.
I don't believe we have 100% free will. Like, I bet instances in your life where, things were just meant to happen. I believe there's some free will. There's some fate. It's destiny. I believe we have like partial free will.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So is there any sin that God determines?
What do you mean by determines?
Yeah, like God causes that sin.
I don't think God necessarily causes it, but he can work through sin. God can turn a bad thing into a good thing,
Candy, thank you for the duck. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so can God turn a graping of a woman into a good thing?
Well, I think
thank you for the mirror bloom. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I think God can turn any bad thing into a good thing. So I guess, yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily use that.
Can God turn the Holocaust into a good thing?
Well, I think God can turn anything bad into a good thing. Even let's say something horrible happened to
value that you place
your people or like the natives. You can either be defeated by that.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
You can be defeated by an attack or something, or you can take that and, like Stoicism says, just take it at face value.
Wait. So to clarify, right? God can somehow, I appreciate the superpower. Thank you so much. Make it a good thing for people to be mass genocided for no good reason.
Well, I'm not saying that event was a good thing. But the people who did survive, they can learn from that negative, event.
So it was just because God wanted them to learn.
I don't think.
Appreciate the paper crane. Thank you so much. Can't God teach us through mechanisms that don't involve genocide?
He can, but
he can, right? So then why is he saying that genocide can happen then?
Well, not everyone learns the same way. Some people can learn through positive things.
So they need genocide in order to learn.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but
okay. So then why was there genocide?
Free will. That's
okay, but I mean, we could still have free will without there being genocide, right?
We can, but some humans, that's
like for example, right? God is all knowing, all powerful, and all good, right?
Yes.
So if God's thinking about like, oh, they have free will, God sees all the outcomes of the different actions that we engaged in, right?
Can you repeat that, please?
So God knows every single action that we would have engaged in and like the different actions that we would have engaged in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So God sees all, like let's essentially take each of these actions and say that each of these actions necessarily is a different world, right? A different possible world. Okay. So God sees an infinite set of possible worlds, right? In one of those possible worlds, every single individual on the planet could have always done the right thing, right? Because like, for example, let me ask you this question, right? Could I do the right thing today every single time?
Yes.
If I were to ask you tomorrow, would the answer still be the same?
Yes.
The next day?
Yes. I mean,
if I asked you every single day until I died, would the answer be the same?
See, that's where humans being born in sin comes from.
No. If I asked you every single day, would the answer be the same?
I mean, it's a very complex topic because that kind of leads into quantum physics. Like you can't compare today to tomorrow to next year. If you know about chaos theory, the further you are into the future, the less certain you can be. And Schrodinger's cat tells us we don't know until we know. So you can't like use hypotheticals to.
Oh, okay. So, wait. So you're saying that God doesn't know true facts about the future?
Well, God being omnipotent and all-knowing, then yes, but he can't force.
So if he knows true facts about the future, then he doesn't have to observe them, right? The observation there would be that if you didn't know.
Well, you're speaking as a human, like, can I do this today, tomorrow, the next day? That's your free will. That's not really God making that choice because he gave us free will.
God gave us free will. Yeah, God gave you. Okay, so here, we'll listen to this, right? So again, the idea is that you have free will in all these different possible worlds. You just chose to do different things. So God can select which world is chosen given all of the different possible worlds, and it's still not God that determined that action. It's effectively you. You still determined it. You still had free will in this world, right? So there can, since even if the probability is 0.000000001%, right, in terms of the likelihood of you never sinning today or every other day of your life, you can just extend that as many zeros, infinite amount of zeros, right? It's still going to be the case that there's one possible reality from the infinite set of possible realities in which every single individual would always do the right thing freely, totally free, right? Like not saying that God determined the action, but they determined it themselves, right? Just out of sheer chance, sheer random chance. Right. So that is a world that God can generate because he's all knowing and all powerful. So the issue is that then God would have a choice between a world where there's free will and no sin and a world where there's free will and sin. So since we're holding free will constant in both of these different worlds, we have a comparison, a world with sin or a world without sin. So if we exist in a world with sin, that tells us that God prefers sin, which yields a contradiction, right? Because sin is something that's against God's preference. So you end with a statement of God prefers a world in which God has a preference against, right? That's a contradiction. Jeremiah, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you.
Well, I think the philosophy goes that Earth is a place to learn, right? If everything is going well, everything is perfect, how is a human going to ever learn and grow?
If you're perfect, how can you grow?
Exactly.
That's exactly my point. Why would growth even matter? You're already perfect.
Well, God created us as individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like being an individual?
Sure.
So God wants you as an individual to grow and learn and to be righteous and to bring his glory onto this earth.
Appreciate the corgi. Thank you so much.
What would be the point if he controlled everything and made everyone perfect? Why would that?
He didn't control everything here. Again, they did it themselves, and God just selected the world from the ones that they determined.
So it's ultimately God choosing that, though.
Appreciate the sunglasses. Thank you so much. No. It's ultimately they determined it, right? It was just selected by God. Yeah.
So you're kind of going into multiverse theory.
No. We're saying I'm not. This is your view, right? We're just saying that there are different things that could have happened, and God knows the different things that could have happened. So when God is creating the world, this is God's process, right? There is different worlds that he could have created, and we're just saying that this is a world that we would expect him to create, right? Not the world that we exist in. Since God didn't create this world that we would expect him to create, that tells us that this God does not exist.
I don't really follow the logic you're using.
Okay, well, what didn't make sense?
Because you're saying God could have picked the world where everyone was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, like, as an individual, what would be the significance of you already being perfect? God chose us to be...
It's a better world than what we exist in now. There's not genocide. There's not child sex trafficking, right? There's not people dying of natural disaster, right? There's not children dying of cancer, right? Like, I mean, is that not a better world than what we exist in now?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but the humans have to come together and do that. Like, why?
Yeah, that's the point. One of these worlds we did.
Why would God just create a world where we're all perfect? We don't have to learn anything.
Because it's a better world than we exist in now.
I'm not disagreeing, but like, there's no significance in that.
Aren't you? No, what do you mean there's no significance? Are you saying that there has to be bad for there to be significance?
No.
Are you saying that there has to be kids that are genocided for there to be significance?
The philosophy is that we have to grow as a person in order to get to heaven.
I don't think that's necessary, right? Because my point would be that God didn't have to grow. God had this innate knowledge. So in the same way that God had this innate knowledge, we could also have that innate knowledge.
Yeah, but then there'd be no significance because we'd all be on the same page. Imagine, it's like the dystopian books that everyone is the same, everyone has the same views, you know, that's not a world you really want to live in.
Again, you don't have to have the same views on everything for you to be perfect, right? There could be views on things in which do not relate to whether or not there's a flaw. Like me having the favorite color of green, right? I don't. My favorite color is blue, right? And someone else having the favorite color of yellow, right? Neither of us are necessarily wrong.
Yeah, but if you were, someone said it. There's a difference between, being put that or being made that way and going through experiences to get to that level. Like, there's significance in you going through life and experiences to bring you to righteousness, to bring glory onto this earth.
Yeah. What's the significance?
Well, it's like, imagine you were just given all the money you wanted in the world for no reason. Like, most people would be depressed because then it's like, whoa, what do I do now?
No. Most people would be fucking happy, okay? That's wild.
I don't know. There's studies that show after a certain amount of...
Yeah, you don't get more happy, but people would be, from the standpoint they are, would be way more happy.
I mean, a lot of people are saying that they'd love that, but
I would be fucking stoked.
Yeah, for a certain amount of time until you bought everything you wanted. You obtained everything you wanted.
I could help. You can help other people. That never stops.
That's true, but...
That literally never stops. There's nothing stopping that. You could use all your money to help people.
I mean, I guess we can agree to disagree.
There's no disagreement there. You clearly can.
I don't really believe everyone would feel that way, you know. There's a lot of rich people who do weird shit.
I'm not saying everyone would feel that way, but I'm saying it's like a reasonable response.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it's different to think about it in theory and then to actually experience it.
Okay, so what's your point though, right? Did God have to experience it to know it? No, right? God already knew it. So that's my point, is that these experiences are so unnecessary, right? And the pain and the suffering that people go through, it could be only justified if it was necessary.
I do think some of the pain and suffering, like, it talks about this in Stoicism. You can either be defeated by whatever you're going through, or you can use that to make you stronger. A lot of these very well-known people who are great at what they do, you know, they all have a story where something happened to them that made them stronger. And I feel like that's what we need to push more is don't just succumb.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that people have to go through genocide in order to get stronger. That doesn't mean that people have to go through their kids getting shut up at a school in order for that to happen. That doesn't mean that the Holocaust has to occur for that to occur, right? Millions of people don't have to be tortured and don't have to die in the most horrendous ways possible for that little simple notion of, oh, people go through, I don't know, someone breaking up with them, right? And they get through it and like find someone later on in their life. As like a comparison to like, again, all these other types of things that are happening, right? We've all been heartbroken and whatnot in our lives, but I don't think that's like something you can compare to.
Well, yeah,
like people being genocided, right?
That's where free will comes in. It's not necessarily God that says, oh, we need to bring a genocide onto this earth so they can learn this lesson. It's humans.
No, I already answered this. Free will can exist. Right?
Yeah.
And it can still be the case that you do the right thing in every scenario. There's literally no contradiction with that, no issue whatsoever.
But like what I'm saying is that God can use those bad things that humans do with their free will and turn it into something.
How? If God's not limiting one's free will, then how?
Well, I don't believe in full free will. I do believe there's some destiny involved.
So God determines some action. Is any action that God determines bad?
Well, that's
and if there's only some free will, how come God doesn't step in and stop children from being raped by P3DOs?
I'm not God. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so he limits free will, but he doesn't care to limit the free will then? Because I don't know about you, but I limit that free will. Would you?
Well, personally, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like.
But if God just limits some people's free will and then lets other people have,
I don't see how that could be can you explain to me how that could be for a greater good?
Well, I'm not saying that specific event, but.
No, it would be that specific event. That's the only reason it could have occurred.
Well, I think those events occur because of free will, but God can.
But again, God limits free will. So no, it's not because of free will.
Well, I don't think God fully limits free will.
God doesn't fully limit it, right? But God even partially limiting it would be compatible with him stopping this. So the Holocaust just isn't good enough for him to stop it, or the children being raped, that's not good enough for him to stop it.
Well, we don't really know the inner workings of God / the Creator, so I can't really give you an explanation for that.
This sounds like a good God to you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Well, if I know you're like bringing up those points, and then you're saying, "Oh, is this a good God?" But God is an intricate, omnipotent creator. You can't just point out one little thing and then say, oh, well, is he a good creator because these bad things happen?
I didn't point out one little. What do you mean little thing?
Well, not one little thing.
The Holocaust isn't little. 6 million people dying. That's not little, right?
Well, I meant in terms of like everything that happens every day.
Van Parker raids.
That is one event out of billions.
Yeah, so you want to talk about the 9 million people that starve every single year? How about that?
Well,
what about the black? What's the point of making the Black Plague? Why does the bubonic plague exist?
I'm not sure. Like, God works in mysterious ways. I can't give you an explanation for that.
God just wanted to wipe out like a third of people at the time.
Well, I'm not sure.
What was the point of making it? Like, I really am concerned. Was it that was supposed to benefit us?
Well, I can give you one thing that might explain God's inner workings. So, the number one killer in the United States, I'm pretty sure it still is heart
God.
Heart disease, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, is heart disease preventable?
Sure, to some degree, not fully.
So God gave us a brain to use.
One
I'm
of
not
my
sure the
top
exact scripture on
2023
this, but
bucket list items is
God
to
gave
go
us
to
a
a
brain
concert.
to
I'm
use
buying
it,
tickets on the
and
Vivid
those
Seats
who
app
just
because they have
choose to
great
be
prices and there's
ignorant
100%
will suffer
buyer
the
guarantee.
consequences.
And you can
Do
buy
you
your
agree?
friends tickets too because if you buy 10 tickets, you get the
People
11
who
free.
choose.
Go
Wait,
to a
sorry. Say
concert
the
now.
first part again.
God gave us a brain to use it, to seek knowledge, to grow our intelligence. Those who choose to remain ignorant and don't seek knowledge or don't seek to learn, they're going to pay that, you know?
One of my top
if you don't know
2023
certain
bucket
things,
list
then you're
items
going
is to
to
go to a
succumb to
concert.
other things.
I'm buying tickets on
Would
the
you agree?
Vivid Seats app.
You can be like, if you don't know some things, you can be ignorant or you could be naive.
Yeah, and that will cause you to sort of fall that a lot of these diseases that people die to, that people go to the doctors for, can be treated and prevented, including mental illness. There are plenty of studies supporting that, like basically all of these mental disorders that people have, bipolar, schizophrenia, whatever you want to say, they are actually due to nutritional deficiencies. And there are many studies citing.
Can you give me one?
I don't have one on hand, but you can.
Can you give me a title?
One I saw recently was literally just look up schizophrenia and nutritional deficiency. It's gonna pop up right away. You can literally look it up. Or even depression and nutritional deficiencies. There are many studies showing that their control group didn't get any better. The group that were supplemented with certain nutrients, their symptoms actually went away. There's multiple studies on this.
So this is a correlation, not a causation.
How is it not a causation? If
It just
everything
is associated with.
everything in the human body, that's why I said if you understand human biology and nutrition, literally everything in your body connects to nutrition.
So we can look at that, but like again, this is just an association. Can you give me one source that says that it's caused?
Well, what would be a source that would mean it's caused if someone is
that isolates for variables, has a control group, tests?
Yeah, there are studies that have control groups.
Yeah, give me one. Give me one that does this. I'll give you time to go find it.
All right.
All right, everyone. In the meantime, while he looks for that, everyone tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes, everyone. If you want to help get it out to more people, share the live. Let's try to get to 500 shares, everyone. By the way, everyone, we will be back on the main account tomorrow at, what's it called? Tomorrow at, what is it? I don't know what time yet, but tomorrow I'll be live on the main account, everyone, again, because we did get suspended for misinfo, but yeah. No, Matt, I wasn't saying control for schizophrenia. I was saying control for people that don't eat these particular foods that he's saying induce, don't have these mineral deficiencies, right?
All right, so I found one.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can induce that, Matt. Because that would be the outcome. That wouldn't be something that you induce.
It's called nutrition deficiencies and clinical core in first episode psychosis.
Here, sorry, say that one more time.
Nutritional deficiencies and clinical correlation in first episode psychosis. It specifically cites
and clinical corollaries.
Clinical correlates.
Correlates. And then what's the last part?
In psychosis.
And psycho.
But there's studies on, literally look up any mental illness and there has been...
In first episode psychosis?
Yeah.
Okay. And where does it say what you said?
If you scroll down to conclusions, it concludes that
It just is associated.
Well, what I don't know.
It says further research must examine the direction and nature of these relationships with clinical status and FEP. Future trials assessing efficacy of nutrition supplementation FEP samples should consider targeting and stratifying for baseline deficiency. So yeah, this is just saying association, right? Because it says that deficits in vitamin D and folate previously observed in long-term schizophrenia appear to exist from illness onset and are associated with worse symptomatology. So it's just referencing like there being like a correlation.
Well, I mean, with any emerging science, it's not just going to be one single study that's like, all right, they're always going to.
You determine causation, though. You have to have some ability to like say that one caused the other, right? If you just give an association in any statistics course, they're going to be like, oh, correlation, causation, fallacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can say that with any study then.
If it's just a correlation.
Well, how would it not be a correlation? It's your body's all.
If it's just a correlation, right? We're trying to look for whether or not there's a relationship. Appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. Just because there's a correlation doesn't mean there's a relationship. For example, right, there are things called spurious correlations, right? We can relate to circumstances like, for example, there's an increase in crime during the summer, and there's also an increase in the amount of people who get ice cream, right? So does the increase in ice cream actually cause an increase in crime?
No, I know what correlation is, but like, how would you prove that in nutritional deficiencies? It's all correlation, and you can even test this yourself if you have a mental disorder and you find a study that says, oh, well, this supplement or this certain vitamin causes this specific symptom. You can test it yourself and see if it works. I mean, like I said, we learned.
Yo, Georgia, I appreciate the cuddle with you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Everyone is criticizing me, but I bet they haven't tried it.
Yeah, so but you just can't just say causation equal correlation. Again, that's the point I'm getting to. You can't just say it, you know?
I mean,
if you don't have a causation thing, you can't just say that correlation equals causation.
If you study human biology and nutrition, you can figure out exactly why that's the case, because
yeah, but you wouldn't do so just by relying upon correlation, right? There are nutritional studies that demonstrate causation. So like I don't know what you're talking about, but
like yeah. What in this case with mental illness and nutritional deficiencies, what would not be correlation?
I can send you studies that show that like eating exorbitant amounts of particular foods can cause negative outcomes, and that's through causation, not just correlation.
Well, I feel like studies that show causation would be like immoral and cruel, because that would cause them to deprive humans of certain nutrients. I don't think that would be allowed.
Okay, so we can't get information on this then, even though it would be consentful, by the way.
Well, I think we can look at the human population and say, all right, what are these people eating? What are these people eating? What do they suffer from? You know, that'd be.
So you're just saying like you take data and then you analyze the data.
Yeah.
But the point is you're just looking at associations.
I mean, I think the only way you'd have a satisfied response is if they did a study where they literally deprived humans of specific nutrients, which would kind of be cruel.
They would do that with other types of entities. They wouldn't do it with humans, but
yeah, but humans are their own. We have our own set of nutrition and human biology. Why would you do it on animals?
Well, it's because humans are animals because similar biology.
Similar, but not the same. You can't really
clearly. Yeah, it's not the same. But I mean. Well, you can know certain effects and whatnot. I mean, at least demonstrate something, right? But it depends, right? I mean, you can have individuals, you could have research on things like this that try to isolate for variables. That I mean, again, I don't see a reason. I mean, if it is the case that you can't isolate variables, Why would we just take an association and run with it? There are going to be many circumstances where we're just going to take associations and then we're going to be wrong.
Well, I do think, like, if you have a bad incident in your life, yeah, it can cause depression. But being nutritionally deficient can worsen that.
I'm not arguing that you should be nutritionally deficient, but right, you're making an argument that it leads to these different types of like mental illnesses and whatnot, right? But if we don't have good evidence to indicate that, I wouldn't say that's true. That's kind of what I'm saying.
I mean, I know because I used to be like depressed and stuff, and I changed my diet, I changed my lifestyle, and it went away. So I know from personal experience. Well, I just want to restate what I said in the beginning about homosexuality being a demonic energy, and ancient civilizations have recognized that.
No, can you give me evidence of that? Just because societies have said that doesn't mean it's true, right? I'm asking for evidence.
Well, that's the thing about spirituality. It's hard to give concrete evidence. It's something.
I think that the tooth fairy causes people to be straight. Is that justified?
Well, I'm not sure about your spiritual like experience, so I can't really say.
I'm not sure about your spiritual experience, so I can't do that either. So where do we get from that?
I don't know. I think it's. I mean, you're just saying
hypotheticals. Theories just as valid?
I don't think so, because these theories have been proven again and again by different generations of people recognizing
like a God existing?
Yeah.
What generation proved God exists?
Well, I'm not saying they proved it, but there's different generations, and even people who aren't connected in any sort of way, they come to the same conclusions. How is that possible?
Well, people have said that there were dragons throughout all of history. So there are literally different societies that are in different places around the world that have stories about dinosaurs. Do you think that dinosaurs existed? Or not dinosaurs, dragons. Sorry.
I mean, I can't disprove it. I wasn't around back then, but I'm not going to say, oh,
but
it's completely
do you believe in dragons, though?
I personally, I'm not really sure on the topic.
You're agnostic on dragons?
I guess.
Sure, right. If you're agnostic on dragons, you should be agnostic on God then, because it seems like the evidence is pretty similar.
Well, through my personal experiences, I know God is real.
Through my personal experiences, I know God is not real. Like, where do we go from there?
Well, I'd say raise your spiritual experience. Fast and pray.
Fast and pray?
Yeah.
I've done that.
Like a prolonged fast?
For how long?
I mean, everyone's different. It's all dependent on you.
Do I have to do it until I get delusions and then I did enough?
Why would you get delusions from fasting?
What are you talking about? People literally get psychosis from fasting. People literally see things.
They're nutritionally deficient. They're malnourished.
There you go.
If you hallucinate while fasting, then you're malnourished, and you shouldn't be fasting.
You can hallucinate without being necessarily malnourished, but within like it depends on the sense of malnourished you're referencing, right? But the idea is that you could just feel faint, right?
Yeah, well, that's a whole different topic. Feeling faint and then hallucinating is two different things.
Yeah, doesn't that happen then? For fasting?
If you're malnourished, you can hallucinate, yeah.
I don't think it's only in that sense, but okay.
I mean, have you tried it yourself to like say it that it's certain?
I'm not saying it happens every single time. I'm just saying it does happen sometimes.
People are saying eating disorder, yet humans were not meant to eat as much as we do nowadays.
How much were we meant to eat?
Well, if we go back to hunters and gatherers, we exercise most of the day, which put our bodies into a state of ketosis, which hardly anyone nowadays ever reaches. We have two metabolic states. We can burn carbs, or we can burn ketones or fat for energy. And, back then we actually were probably more ketone dominant, fat dominant, running off of our body's fat. It's actually a more efficient energy. You actually have a 400% energy increase. You have increased focus, increased endurance. Hence, hunters and gatherers, they
Can you give me one source?
Source on what?
What you just said.
That there's a 400% energy increase?
Yeah, you're giving me all these statistics. I'd love to hear a source.
All right, let me go get one real quick.
Give it a second, everyone. Tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. If you disagree, send a guest request right now. Please only send a guest request. If you disagree, if you want to help get it out to more people, share the live. Let's try to get to 500 shares, everyone. By the way, everyone, again, if you want to help get out to more people, you already know what to do. We're going to be on the main account tomorrow. You already know. It's been a week, so we're back, everyone. We're back on the main account tomorrow. I'm super excited to be. We'll just give them a second, everyone. Do an alien debate soon. We'll think about it. I don't know if we'll really get people in to do that one. That's my biggest concern there. By the way, everyone, we're going to be on until 7, maybe a bit after 7, something like that. So we'll see. We still got a while left on the live. It's only been about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we're about halfway through or so. Again, if you like the content, follow me if you haven't already. Hearts, what is so wrong with you? You're like, why are you so negative? Like, for after so long, you're so negative for no reason. There's really no reason. Like, what did I do? Actually, Hearts, I want to hear. What did I do? What did I do for you to troll in the comment section so much? I appreciate the hearts. Thank you so much. What did I do? I just want to hear. I'm curious. You rejected her? Rejected from what? I actually love you. It's a joke. I don't know. Tap that screen, everyone. Tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. You're literally spamming in my chat. Watching Parker gets me depressed. Honestly, watching Parker is not good for us. Like, we shouldn't be doing this. My bad. Yeah. That's so funny. I'm out Colorado. Yeah, of course. Can we do a gun debate? Maybe sometime. I don't really have a huge position on guns. That's kind of why I haven't really done that very much. It's so depressing to critically think. So real. Meg, thank you so much for the handout. I appreciate it. Thank you. Grifter Parker is emotional. So real. Yo, by the way, everyone, if you missed the other person yesterday that was like screaming and really angry for the entire time, I'm probably going to post a good portion of it. Already. What's up? What's the study?
Nutritional ketosis and mitohormesis.
Nutritional ketosis and mitohormesis. Okay.
It's hard to find studies that say exactly what I'm saying because it's a lot of scientific speak, and you have to really like read through it.
Potential implications for human health. Okay. Let's read the conclusion. Let's go to the conclusion real quick. Where's this at? Damn, the conclusion's pretty fucking far down the page. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading when it comes to these subjects because they're very complex.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's in the conclusion. I searched keywords.
Convincing arguments for a ketogenic diet to be a default treatment for diabetes are a decade old and have continued to gain support since then. Similar arguments are developing for obesity, neurodegenerative diseases, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and even aging, although the mechanisms through which a ketogenic diet may improve these conditions expand beyond mitochondrial function. The great extent to which nutritional ketosis increases reliance on mitochondrial metabolism strongly suggests that mitochondrial adaptation is a central factor. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't really tell me what I need.
Well, there's parts in it that show energy, like how it affects your energy.
The most prominent example is the study of mitochondrial adaptations as a mechanism for the well-known anti-seizure effect of ketogenic diets. As previously discussed, the dramatic shift in energy metabolism and the subsequent increase in circulating ketones induced by a ketogenic diet can enhance mitochondrial function and endogenous antioxidant defense. The primary mechanism behind these adaptations appears to be the increased demand for fat oxidation resulting from carbohydrate restriction. However, ketones themselves have important metabolic and signaling effects that enhance mitochondrial function and endogenous antioxidant defense, implying that a well-formulated ketogenic diet should have a greater benefit than a non-ketogenic low-carbohydrate diet. Regardless of the mechanisms, the potential outcomes imply protection against chronic disease through improved mitochondrial function and, in turn, decreased potential for oxidative stress and subsequent pathology. However, further research is needed to better understand how nutritional ketosis influences mitochondrial function across different tissues and how these influences relate to human disease. Further research should also focus on future differentiation of the effects of carbohydrate restriction and the direct effects of ketones. So this just compares non-carbohydrate keto or non-ketogenic carbohydrate. Wait, hold up. Non-ketogenic low carbohydrate diets to ketogenic diets. I don't think it compares or ones that are not just like low carbohydrate.
Well, it tells you that when you're in ketosis, you have enhanced mitochondrial production.
Comparative to that one. Comparative to non-ketogenic and low carbohydrate. Carbs are pretty important, right? So wouldn't we need one that compares based on carbohydrates that are higher as well?
I mean, there probably is, but that's just the one I stumbled upon. It's a lot of reading.
Yeah, we'd have to read through it.
But my point was that the body has two metabolic states. One where you're burning carbs for energy, or glucose, or sugar. One where you're burning fat or ketones. So it doesn't matter if it's a low carb diet versus a ketosis diet. You're still not in ketosis versus being in ketosis.
Okay, we'd have to look, but I don't know. So do you want to relate it back to the topic, or is there anything else you have left to say?
Honestly, I forgot where that came from, but
yeah, me too. I have no fucking clue, but yeah.
I just want to tell people that learning about human biology and nutrition. Oh yeah, God gave us a brain to use, right? Now, people who choose to be ignorant to how their own body works, you should know how the human body works and its metabolism.
No one can know fully how it works. That's why we specialize it in, some doctors know.
Yeah, well, I've proven many doctors wrong and gotten written apologies from doctors growing up. I actually was diagnosed with autoimmune disease at a young age and put it into remission, which is why I know so much on this topic.
You've proven many doctors wrong?
Yeah.
So do you think that doctors are not trustworthy at all?
Well, the thing with Western medicine is they practice treatment instead of prevention because prevention doesn't make them much money.
They do both.
Yeah, and their prevention is horrible. For example, for people who have
what prevention is better? Let me know.
Well, natural. I'm more of a holistic naturalist.
Yeah. So, what particular natural responses are better?
Well, just having a good diet and lifestyle. Most people are eating
Appreciate the
bad
corky.
food.
Thank you so
man.
much. And the Western medicine tells you to do that too. So
Yeah, well, I'm not promoting Western medicine. I'm promoting a holistic view towards it.
yeah, but Western medicine doesn't dispute that. Western medicine says eat good diet.
Yeah, but the diets they tell you to eat aren't actually good.
Oh, which diets aren't good? You mean the ketogenic diet that we just read into isn't good?
No, it is good, but
then why is there a study that indicates that it's good if they're only bad ones?
well, there's different doctors have different philosophies, but for the most part, most doctors will tell you to go on a low-fat diet, to eat a ton of grains, which isn't beneficial to any ailment that you have. And if you don't even if you don't believe it, you
Eat
can
a bunch of grain.
test it on
would just
yourself.
be a part of it.
Yeah, well, so for people who have who are developing heart disease, like high cholesterol, they'll tell you, oh, eat a low-fat diet. But a low-fat diet is detrimental.
It depends on maybe it depends on the type of fat, and it depends on the scenario.
Well, yeah.
It depends on what you consider to be low fat. At the rates that they're telling you, it's probably not bad.
There's studies.
I think they're probably saying low sugar, but
well, yeah,
it
low
probably
sugar
depends
would
on the
be-
person. Clearly speaking, men are going to require less fat within their diets than women are, as women have a higher minimum body fat percentage that they can have, right?
Well, I think for men it's more important because it's fat plays a role with hormones. I mean, it's important for both genders, but for men especially because we have more testosterone, and fat helps a lot with that. And it's proven that even nowadays, men back then compared to now, men nowadays have the testosterone levels of what would have been like a 60-year-old back then.
Can you give me evidence of that?
Yeah, let me find a study.
Yeah, for sure. You can just DM it to me. I'm probably about to go on to the next person. It's fine. You can just DM it to me and I'll check it out.
Well, I just want to say, I hope everyone learns about nutrition, learns about the human body, because it's very important. Learn about fasting, prolonged fasting, not just intermittent. Stay healthy. Health is wealth. And you'll find your way.
I for sure appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
No problem.
All right, everyone, we're going to go on to the next person. If you like my content, follow me if you haven't already. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. Let's go on to the next person, though. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. Just looking for some debates, y'all. What's up, Aiko? How you doing, Aiko? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, well, I'm 18 plus 1. I go by 18 plus 1. I stopped counting at 18. And so I don't actually think that being gay is wrong. I'm not here to debate that.
I'm just looking for people who want to debate. I appreciate you coming on.
I just wanted to say something that I think that
I'm just looking for disagreeers, man. Thank you so much for coming on, though.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's go to the next person. Everyone, only send a request if you disagree, y'all. All right, give it a second, everyone. Okay, bye. I have class. Oh my gosh, Aiko, that's tough. Imagine on a, what is it? Is it today? Is today Thursday? That's fucking tough. I had it earlier. Okay, give it a second, everyone. Let me go to the next person. Why couldn't you say 19? I don't know. Quick maths. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I'm 15.
You gotta be 18 plus to join the live TikTok rules.
Gosh darn it!
Okay. No, it's okay, buddy. 3 more years. 3 more years. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I don't really want to go into the religion part, but it is unnatural.
What do you mean by natural?
Unnatural.
Yeah, what do you mean by natural, though?
Even though it exists in nature, it's not how nature is supposed to be.
Well, how do you know what nature is supposed to be?
Because nature is nature. everything that goes on in nature. A lot of these things are a lot of anomalies, and people tend to think that because, oh, it exists in nature, that means it's quote unquote natural. Some people are born without legs, but you know that a human being is supposed to have legs. So a person born without legs, not necessarily natural. It's just a bird.
You're just saying typical then. So you just mean it's not typical to be gay.
It's also not natural. It's not supposed to occur. So
no, but by natural you
happen.
mean, but supposed to is like some sort of normative claim that you're placing on it. That like relates to your preferences, right? What you mean here is that you're just relating to typical. Okay, so you could say, yeah, like typically speaking, within nature, it is the case that human beings are born with multiple limbs like that, right? But if it is the case that they are born without that, well, I mean, that's in that sense, that is something that naturally occurred, that was natural, right? It's just not typical.
Okay, a dog eating cereal, that's naturally happening, but it's not natural.
That doesn't happen in nature. No, that happens due to mankind.
Exactly.
That's not nature. That's exactly what we're disputing.
So if you like take a teratogen during your pregnancy, your child comes out deformed, that's not natural, even though it happened. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, technically, if it exists in nature and it happens within nature, it would be natural. Like deformities exist in nature, right? And they happen within nature. Do. So they are natural under that definition if it's just something that exists within nature.
But you cannot really say that it's natural because it happens in quote unquote nature.
That's exactly what the definition is.
Because that's not the nature of how things go. Those things are mutations. And I get that you're saying that, okay, it's natural, but it's not really natural.
No, but what you mean by natural here is just like typical. That's all you mean.
Okay, fine. If you want to say that. But to me, being gay, it's not natural. I'm not going to say that
but it's also not natural under this notion to then have hazel eyes. That's not common. I have hazel eyes. Is that not natural?
Okay, well, getting into that, a lot of people would probably get offended. But blue eyes are very uncommon. But
wait,
it is natural.
Do you think hazel eyes are not natural?
They are natural, but that's what I'm saying. That was my point. Blue eyes are even less common than hazel eyes, so people would be like, "Then what are you gonna say about blue eyes?"
Are blue eyes? I think blue eyes might be more common. I have to check.
It's not common. It's not as common.
I don't know. How many? I think it's 5%.
Hazel eyes exists in almost every race.
It's about 2%. So blue eyes is 8 to 10%.
It is?
Yeah, and a hazel eyes is 2%.
Really? I know a lot of people with hazel eyes.
Let me make sure. What percent of people have hazel eyes? What percent of people?
Yeah, somebody said green eyes. Green eyes are actually less common.
Yeah, green eyes are the least common.
Yeah.
Oh, 18% of the people in the US have hazel eyes, but 5% in the world. Wait, 2% of the world's population of hazel / amber. Wait, what? I'm so confused. There's different sources that say different things. This one says 2% as well. Okay, so that's where I definitely saw 2%. Okay, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? Okay.
Yeah, but it's not, because to me, and see, I can't really say to me, but in nature, the point of living things is to multiply. So viruses multiply. That's what they basically do all day. That's how they enter the body. The point is for them to multiply. You get sick because they're multiplying within your body, and that's basically for you to spread them. However,
is it wrong for someone to never have sex?
Is it wrong? It's not designed, but I mean, technically, I'm celibate right now. Is it wrong? No, not really. But
there's no reproduction.
No, there's no reproduction. I mean, a pregnant woman can't, technically reproduce all year. So you have to have breaks in between sex as well. So.
No, I'm just saying, I said never, right? Like in a lifetime.
Well, what
Like if
about
someone
people
just
who
doesn't want
have?
to ever
What
have
about
sex.
people who are like basically vegetables? They will never have sex.
Well, I mean, you could relate to that as well. Is that immoral?
It's not immoral. That's what, that's like I'm not getting
is it
into the
immoral for
moral.
someone? Is it immoral
Mhm.
for just someone who is of rational capacity, right? Is it
Mhm.
immoral for them to choose not to have sex with people?
It's not immoral, but it's not also quote unquote natural or
Okay,
like
so
you
whether or
say
not something's natural has
normative.
no relevance of whether or not it's right or wrong. So, I mean, that would be my point then, right? If you want to consider being gay to not be considered natural, I don't see how that makes any sense. It doesn't make sense under my view of what's considered natural, right? Clearly it's natural, right? But whether or not something's natural doesn't mean it's right or wrong. So,
That's what I'm saying. So you want to just go talk about what's right or wrong, because then
Yeah.
that's going to go into religion.
yo, Jack, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, do you believe in religion?
Yeah,
What
I guess
religion?
I believe in like a higher power.
What religion do you believe in?
Everybody goes to God, so I try to go to God.
What God?
There's only one.
I'm just asking, like, is there a particular
Like
religion, or is it just like
the Abrahamic religion. So
which one?
Christianity, Judaism.
Christianity, Judaism, or Islam?
Yeah.
Which one?
hmm
Which one? Christianity, Islam, or Judaism?
They're all the same God.
They're different notions of God.
No, but they're it's the same God. That's why they're called the
Not
Abrahamic.
necessarily. I would disagree. Like they have different judgments. They have different different determinations within reality. Like one says that Jesus was crucified on the cross. The other says that it was not. So.
Well, technically, Christianity came from Judaism. So the Torah is basically the first 5 books of the Bible. And then you also have like Islam. Islam also has a relation to Christianity, but they just believe that Jesus was a prophet, not a god. So they technically do believe the same things, but just different aspects of it.
Yeah, so like I mean, what I'm saying is that they're technically different notions. Like they can't both be true simultaneously.
Well, Judaism, well, Jesus was a Jew, but to Jews, they do not believe that he was the Messiah or or God. Christians do believe that. And Muslims just believe that he's a prophet. So you think one is more right than the next?
I think they're all wrong
Why do you think they're all wrong?
because there's contradictions.
So what do you believe in?
Well, in terms of what?
Religion, faith?
I don't hold to any religion.
So you're an atheist.
Yeah, agnostic, atheist,
Which one are you? They're different.
both. Right. So agnostic just means I don't know, and
Yeah.
atheist means I don't believe.
But so why would you call yourself agnostic then?
Because I don't know when it relates to like gods across the board, right? But when it relates to the Abrahamic notion of God, yeah, I can reject that.
Definitely don't believe that.
Yeah, well, there's contradictions.
So would you be inclined to believe in like Hinduism?
Well, Hinduism might be more likely to be true than the Abrahamic religions, depending on the characteristics of the Hindu god.
Oh gosh. But there are multiple.
Well, some are monotheistic, others are poly.
But most of them are poly.
I don't even know if that's true. I'd have to check.
Yeah, a lot of them are very poly, like polytheists.
A lot of them are monotheistic, from what I've seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Which ones do they mostly believe in?
Like the other types of like quote unquote gods are like the different like actions or powers or abilities that the one would have in some notions.
So
it just depends
anyways,
on what you're talking.
back to the topic then. Okay, so what do you believe being gay is? Obviously, you believe that it's quote unquote right, but do you feel outside of it existing in nature? Do you feel that it is right, or can you justify why it's right?
Why? What's right? Sorry.
Being gay.
Oh, there's nothing that would indicate to me that that it's wrong, right? And I don't consider it to be right or wrong.
It's
Right.
something
The
that's
same way I
happening.
don't consider to be being straight to be right or wrong. Right. It
It
simply
just
just is.
exists.
Yeah. It's like the same thing as like me picking up a rock from the ground, right? I wouldn't say that like you should pick up the rock or you shouldn't. I wouldn't say it's right or wrong to pick up the rock. It simply just is something that happened.
But what if you pick up the rock and hit somebody's house?
Well, then it would be wrong because then you're harming someone.
You're hitting their house.
Well, their property.
But you're not gonna, I mean, it doesn't necessarily damage their house. You can just hit their house with the rock.
That's still harming their house. Doing something
That's
against like
true.
what their will is in terms of their property.
Okay, what if you throw it at your house?
If I throw it at my own house, that's fine.
hmm That's fine.
Yeah.
So why is that not wrong?
It's not right or wrong.
It's not right or wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't have an issue with gay people. Honestly, I have.
Is it right or wrong for you to breathe right now?
Is it right or wrong for me to breathe? It's right because I want to be alive.
Okay. Well, I mean, that would be in accordance with the desire. So I guess, is it right or wrong for me to play video games right now?
You're on a live, so no, it's wrong.
It's wrong?
You're on a live.
What about it?
You're talking to people.
So?
So that's rude.
How is it rude?
We're talking.
And?
Focus here.
Am I not focused?
No, you're playing a game. You
Me
have to
driving
pick one.
around in Forza doesn't
You-
mean I'm not focused.
You have to pick one.
Yeah, I don't. I can multitask.
No.
I've been
Try
doing
it.
it just fine the entire conversation.
Really? You're playing a game? Are you winning?
I'm driving around in Forza. I'm just driving around. It's literally it's
That
just like
doesn't
the
count. That doesn't count.
it's
You
still
can
me
drive.
playing a game.
That doesn't count. Are you winning anything? No.
I'm not like competing in a game. I'm literally just driving around.
Then that doesn't count. I can drive my car and talk to you.
Well, you can't do that on live. It's TikTok TOS, but I'm playing in a video game, so I can.
Technically, I can. It
Yeah.
might not be right according to the law, but
And TikTok terms of service. So yeah. So
Well,
is there
TikTok
anything
has-
else you'd like to go over or talk about?
no, I just wanted to know your thing, but I do technically dabble, but I do think it's not natural.
You do
But
dabble?
I do dabble.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go on to the next person. Again, if you like the content, make sure to follow me if you haven't already. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. If you want to help get out to more people, everyone, share the live. Let's try to get to 500 shares, everyone. But yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yes.
Why so?
So I'm Christian, so I believe in the Bible, and the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 6:9 that no homosexuals will inherit the kingdom of God.
Yeah, so I'll just ask you this question. How do we know that the Bible is accurate in describing to us what's right and what's wrong?
Okay, good question. So Bible, it says the Bible is the word of God, and the word of God is absolute. So therefore, yeah, I mean, it's the word of God, and God is God. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, so why do I accept that it's the word of God?
Because it said it is.
Okay, so does the Quran.
Yeah, but if you read so you're asking like, why is the Bible more valid than, for example, like other?
No, they both made claims that they're the word of God. If I wrote down in a book that this is the word of God, would that be the word of God? No.
you have
Okay,
to,
so what makes it actually the word of God?
Okay, so it's first of all, it says it's the word of God, like I already said, and then also if you read it from front to cover, from front to back, and then actually let the Holy Spirit like enter you, and actually let you can actually see and you can actually experience the Holy Spirit for yourself. And then you will understand that it is the word of God, and it also lines up historically with the events, like even in the history books. The Bible came before the Quran as well. Like there's a lot of things.
So how do I know that this spirit is inside of me?
Well, you have to feel first of all, there's conviction. Like, if you have these homosexual tendencies, you will feel in yourself that it is wrong, because it is immoral.
Yeah. So I don't think that's true. There are many people that engage in gay intercourse and they don't think it's wrong. So.
Yeah. So that's
I don't get
what
an
I'm saying.
intuition
They don't
that's
have
wrong.
the Holy Spirit with them, or they're just suppressing the truth.
How do I, okay. Well, that's just an assumption that you have. I think you're suppressing the truth when you think it's wrong, right? I could say the same thing about you, right?
Yeah, but what's your basis of judgment? What's your basis of truth?
The same way that you just preferenced, right? It was just your preference.
My
so I
basis
just
of
preferenced
truth is
back.
the word of God. Yours is what?
No, that you have a preference to believe that it's actually the word of God, right? I have no reason to believe that it's the word of God, right?
Okay, so then what's your okay, I'm going to ask you I have a standard of truth, so what's your standard of truth?
What do you mean a standard of truth, right? You just go based upon the Bible, right? The standard of truth.
Yeah,
you
so
talking about
mine is
how
the
you come
Bible.
to truth? Like how you determine truth?
Yeah, so is your truth
Yeah,
'cause
I
the
use reason
Muslims
and
would say
logic.
it's from the Quran, I would say it's from the Bible, so what is yours?
Reason and logic.
Okay, so reason and logic. Oh yeah, so you're atheist / agnostic, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so your reason and logic, let's say your logic is to go and I know they always say, why do they always bring up the violent situations? But let's just get straight to the point. So if you think it's okay to go and rape somebody,
You gotta
or
say R word or essay. It's TikTok TOS.
oh, sorry. If you go to punch somebody, right? And then, so if you see someone do that, you will say, oh, that's wrong by your logic, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, by my view.
Yeah. Okay. So then after that, what makes it wrong for someone else to use their logic and reasoning and say, oh, that's actually right?
Well, that wouldn't be their logic and reasoning. That would just be their preference.
How? Why is your logic or reasoning superior than theirs?
Well, it would just be, we'd have different preferences when it relates to morality. Appreciate the cat. Thank you so much.
So, okay. So but what, if that's your logic and your reasoning,
Logic and reasoning is going to be a method to determine truth when it relates to things that are stance independently true, right? You can use reasoning within the context of preferences about morality, but that's going to be solely based upon the reasons why, in a descriptive sense, why you have a particular intuition.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're saying that it would just be their preference. It wouldn't have to do anything with logic or the reasoning. If the example that I brought up,
It depends on what you mean by reasoning, right? But
I mean, you're the one that said
logic is just how you order everything. Okay, so it's not going to use those necessarily those methods, right? Inherently just having an intuition, right? The intuition can then be ordered by using logic, by saying, oh, is this consistent with, say, our other preferences, right? Things like that.
So your truth is basically your own brain. That's what you're saying. Your logic,
the
your
truth
logic
maker
from your
of
brain.
morality is my mind. Yeah.
Okay. So what makes your mind more superior than other people's? So
It's going to be my preference, right, in relation to myself.
But
right?
but there's only
that's why
absolute
I'm gonna. So what does preference mean? It means I think that one thing is superior or better than another, right? I prefer one thing to another. Okay. So clearly speaking, if I have a preference, right, that's going to be what I prefer. That's just logically entailed.
Okay. So if that's your okay. So that means you're saying your logic is a preference. That's what you're saying, right?
My logic is I don't know what you mean by that.
I mean, no, the way you reason, the way you think is a preference, right?
Yeah, what I think about morality, that's going to be a preference, yeah.
Okay, so you don't think there's absolute truth?
What does absolute truth mean?
There's only one truth. 2 + 2 = 4, period. There's no
So you mean stands independent truth?
5.
So a truth that's independent of someone's stance, desire, or preference?
Yeah, it just stands no matter what.
Yeah, I believe that some objective truth exists, but not in relation to morality.
Okay, so you're saying morality is just based on preference, but everything else it's absolute, right?
Morality is based on preference, but everything else, not everything else, but many other things there are objective truths about, right? But I don't think there's an objective truth about morality.
Okay, so if there's no objective truth of morality, back to my point, what makes you more right than other people? If someone is punching somebody, who are you?
What do you mean by right? What do you mean by right? Because again, when it relates to morality, it's just a preference, right? Of course, I'm going to prefer my preference.
Morality it's between right and wrong. Like that's what.
Yeah, right and wrong in relation to my preferences. Yeah.
So if someone goes and punches somebody, and they can say, "Oh, that in my preference, that's right." So
that's their preference. I disagree with their preference.
Okay, so who is right and who is wrong then?
I'm right under my view. They're right under their view.
But there has to be a right or wrong. You guys.
Yeah, the right under my view, and then the right under their view.
No, but that's where I disagree with you when you say that there's no absolute truth when it comes to morality, because morality has to be a right.
I don't know. Again, what you mean is just objective. Yeah, I don't believe there are objective facts when it relates to morality. I believe that there are subjective facts when it relates to morality. That means things that are true, but they're dependent upon our stances, our minds, right? That's the grounding of the facts when it relates to morality. It's not something that's independent of our minds or desires. I don't know what it means to say that something is wrong independent of something that I care about, right? When I'm saying something is wrong, I'm saying I don't like this.
Okay, but let's get this straight. You said morality is a preference, right?
Yeah, morality is a preference.
So then how did the laws come up? That doesn't make any sense.
Laws have been grounded on preferences. It's just the preferences of society, democratically determined in our society. That's descriptive.
So you think that punching somebody is just, and then deciding what to do, you saying that the act of punching somebody or, doing something violent to someone is just a preference, and there's no right or wrong?
You're not listening, right? I don't know why you're not listening. Again, I'm saying that there is right or wrong when it relates to morality, but that right or wrong is specific to that individual's preferences, that individual's mind, right? So it's wrong under my view for that person to hit that other individual, and it's right under that one person's view to do so. Okay.
But how the world can't exist like that?
What do you mean? Why?
Morality, because then you can't, just like in countries, like they have laws, like then anyone can just say, "Oh wait, no, it was my preference. Don't lock me up." That's
not how it works with laws in society. Laws in society are inherently, right, authority based, right? They're saying, right, in a democratic society, they're saying a majority of people are going to determine how this society is going to function. That's just how it works when it relates to power setups, right? I'm not saying it's justified for the majority to determine what's right, but that's what happens in reality. I appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. It determines what's right within that context of that society. I appreciate the hand art for themselves. It's not under my view what's considered right. It's not under your view what's considered right. I appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. That's what that society is deeming acceptable in terms of what happens within their own society.
Okay. So
that's solely descriptive. Again, not something that I think is justified. There are many societies that have done terrible things that I think are gross.
Okay. So let's go back to what you said. So when you're a baby, okay, so do you think morality is learned?
There's a part of it that's learned. The part of it can be biologically determined.
Because you, according to the Bible, you already have this consciousness that tells you right or wrong. Like even if
trust me, I know all the points of Christianity when it relates to like you wrote morality in your hearts. I'm asking
you feel the conviction.
What's the argument though, right? Because like the again, that can be explained naturally, right? That's just an intuition, okay? That's just that's your gut feeling.
How is that an intuition if nothing? If it's literally lining up with the Word of God, and you feel it in yourself, like you feel like when you lie to someone,
you just have similar intuitions to the Bible. That's it.
Okay, so you're basically making.
Are you not understanding how you can have similar intuitions to a book?
Then it's most likely true. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Because God,
if I have intuitions that are similar to Harry Potter, right? Does that mean that Harry Potter is true?
Okay, look, God is the designer, and we are made in His image. So, if it's literally saying in the book what we are feeling right now, wouldn't that be? And it's claiming, and Harry Potter is not claiming to be the word of God, though. That's the difference.
Okay, well, I can give you a different. The Book of Mormon.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about those. What I'm saying is,
why not?
There has to be.
Why not? Why don't you want to talk about that?
There has to be a right and a wrong. That is.
Yeah, and why don't you want to talk about that?
Because that's just going off to different topic. But look,
it's not. No, it's totally. It's 100% relevant, right? Because again, how do you differentiate between your denomination and this denomination?
That's just different interpretations of the Bible. But what you're saying is that you don't even believe in the Bible, like period. Like,
no, they also hold to a different scripture, a different revelation.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't know too much about Mormons, but I'm going to talk about your question. Why is being gay wrong? So then now we're on the part where it says if there's absolute right or wrong, or if there's just, in your own brain, right? That's the question right now, right?
Again, when you mean by, why do you keep using that? I don't know why you keep using that terminology, absolute, because absolute doesn't necessarily mean like stance dependent or stance independent, right? Under my view, I can say that I think that something is absolutely wrong and it can be subjective. Right?
No, when you say absolute truth, though, it means
absolutely wrong might just mean in all circumstances. Appreciate the Lucy.
When you say absolute truth, like 2 + 2 = 4, no matter about your opinion, 2 + 2 = 4. No matter what.
Oh, okay. So do you think that there's a truth about morality if God didn't exist?
Do I think there's a truth about morality if God did? No.
Okay, well then that is so it's dependent upon God's stance.
Yes.
Okay, that's subjective.
He's the creator.
That's subjective. You believe in subjective morality. You don't believe in absolute morality under your view either, because it's determined by God's opinion.
God is the creator, though.
So that's still subjective.
It's not. I don't know why you're saying like God's opinion, but God is the creator.
It's still subjective. Yeah.
Okay. But exactly. But my morality is based off of the creator. Your morality is based off
right? But like you're just saying that all you're saying is that you like the creator's preference more than mine. There's nothing different between my view and between God's view. It's just that we have different preferences. Phoebe, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much.
You're not the creator. You are the creation.
I don't care, right? Shanti, I appreciate the money gun. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If I created a simulation where there are sentient beings and I decided to put them into a burning room where they just burn alive, and I told them that that's right, is that actually right? Under your view? Is that right?
That's not what God is.
I'm the creator.
No, but you're also.
But I'm the creator.
All the other qualities of God, all knowing.
But I'm the creator.
You're putting God in a box. God wouldn't do something.
But I'm the creator. I never said God did that. I said I'm a creator of a simulation.
So you're saying if you were God?
If I was a creator of a simulation. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much, Blue Knights. Appreciate it.
You can't make those hypothetical statements and put yourself as God, because God has his own judgment.
Why can't I compare because of that? That's like irrelevant.
So you're putting God in a box, basically. You're saying like, what if I was God and I put people in a simulation?
So I can't compare anything to God.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
that's what you just said. You just said I'm putting God in a box. That's the way that you just don't want to answer my question.
How?
Because you just said you put God in a box. That doesn't respond to my question.
My standard of truth is the Bible. According to the Bible, what you just said, putting people in a room and burning them alive, no, that's wrong.
Okay, so clearly that's wrong. Okay, so even though I created them, yes. even though I created them, it's still wrong. Okay, that's my point.
Okay,
so but just because the Bible, just because God created us, doesn't mean that everything God does is right.
No, the word of God is God. That's what it says in John.
Yeah, this is what God determines to be right. This is God's preference. Again,
no, it is right. It's not. He doesn't determine. Like
No, it's right under His view. It's right under His view. Because again, you told me the truth of morality is dependent upon God's stance and opinion, so it's right under His view.
Yes, and he's the creator.
Yeah, there you go. Right, so it's still subjective.
So if the creator of the
Nathan,
whole
Nathan, this is a semantical issue. This is just subjective morality. I don't care to have this conversation anymore because your morality is subjective. Like you making this thing like, oh, you don't believe in objective moral facts, right?
It's a useless conversation. For mine, though, what is your evidence? So what makes your brain more superior than the creator of the universe?
I'm not. Well, I'm just saying that I prefer it to whatever.
You have to back up what your brain.
It is logically entailed, Nathan. Jerry, I appreciate that mustache.
Why is your logic more superior? You have to say something.
Again, bro, you're not understanding, right? What is a preference?
A preference is your own opinion.
No. What is a preference? There's a little bit more than that. It means I want this over that, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so if you want this over that, you're saying that one thing is superior to you than another thing. Do you agree?
Yes.
So why is it superior? Because it's my preference. Appreciate the cap. Thank you so much. Appreciate the ad mustache. Thank you. That's the only explanation. There is no further explanation than that, right?
But when it comes to morality, there is no preference.
Appreciate that mustache.
That's what I'm saying. It's just right or wrong.
Cap. Right or wrong is inherently preference based. Okay. Do you want to have a conversation about
what is your standard of truth though? Like that's what I'm asking. All
when it relates to morality, I appreciate the cap. Thank you so much. Standard of truth maker is my preferences. It's my desires. Right. That's myself.
So
my
like
mind.
what you're saying right now is that everyone has okay, look, let me just say this. Everyone has a consciousness. So everyone has a sense of what's right or wrong. Like putting like,
what are you trying to tell me right now, Nathan? I really don't get it. I've heard this argument from theists a million times.
Right or wrong.
I've heard this argument from theists a million times. Or I know exactly what you're saying.
Yes, everyone has a sense of right or wrong. It's not up to your preference. Like everyone has
that. Literally is your dude. Oh my god, your sense of right or wrong is literally what your preference is. Like, what the fuck are you saying, dude?
How is that your preference?
That's literally what your preference is.
When I
say that I think that something is wrong, that is my preference.
If you choose to lie, you're gonna feel that guilt no matter what. No matter like what you think is right or wrong.
Appreciate that mustache. Thank you so much. If you don't feel guilt, is something not wrong?
No, you will feel guilt. Deep down, you will.
There are some people that don't feel guilt.
If they don't feel guilt, then they're suppressing the truth.
No, they literally just don't feel guilt, like biologically speaking. Whatever possessed. Okay. Do you have an argument about whether or not your God exists, or because this is solely semantical?
It does exist. My God does exist.
Okay, so you believe in the Christian God?
Yes.
Okay. For example, right? Let's say that there are cops, right, that see a P3DO raping a child, right? If they have the ability to stop this P3DO from raping the child and they don't do it, do they do something wrong?
If the cops don't stop the person?
Yeah, they can stop it and they don't stop it. Do they do something wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So if God sees a P3DO raping a child, can stop it and doesn't stop it, is it wrong?
It depends on what... You can't, I've heard this argument before. You can't really say that because God knows, God is all knowing. The cops are not all knowing. So God knows what's going to happen down the line and there's a domino effect. You know, I can't really say that because it's up to God's judgment. You can't put God in a box to the same knowledge as a human being. God is the creator.
You mean rules for thee, but not rules for me?
What?
Rules for thee, but not rules for me.
No, God is not. Yeah, doesn't have any rules. Like he is the creator.
No, okay. So God could grape a child, and it's not wrong.
No, he has qualities. It's not in his nature.
Okay, so again, right, in the same sense of the terms, it's the exact same action. Humans see a child that's getting raped, right, and that you think that they should stop it. Okay, if they can. Okay. Okay, What is distinct with God? In the exact same sense of the terms, it's the exact same thing, but all we're doing is getting rid of those humans. Right now it's God. Why shouldn't God do it?
Why shouldn't God stop it?
Yeah. Why should God let that child get raped?
Why should God let that child get... Okay, so if you're saying if God was replaced with the cops, right?
Yeah. It's the same. It's literally the exact same action in the exact same sense of the terms.
You're okay, but It is up to God. That's such like you're putting it in a box. Like we don't know.
Would God say that they should stop it? Would God say that they should stop that P3 from graping the child? Is that what God would say?
God doesn't wish harm upon anybody.
No. The cops are there. Would God say that they should stop that if they can?
I couldn't tell you that because
you don't know. So wait, you don't know?
There's so many.
God wouldn't tell them to stop the P3 from graping the child?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I assume he would.
An all good God.
Yes, he would because that's one of his
yes.
I love him.
Oh, okay. So if God would tell them not to do that, well, then God would do the same thing himself, right?
God would stop. Yeah, he would.
Oh, okay. So every single time a P3DO is graping a child, God would stop it because God can.
Yeah, but that's also
okay. So the fact that we do see that P3DOs grape children should then tell us, under your view, that God doesn't exist.
If he could, he would.
Because we would expect God to not let this happen.
If God could, then he would. Yes, I agree with you. But he gave us free will as well.
Okay, so the idea here is then that free will means that these types of things have to happen.
No, free will. We are these things that are happening is a result of humans abusing their free will.
Okay, so the idea here, I'll ask you this question: do you think that there's a probability I could have done the right thing today?
That you could have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If I asked you that question every single day of my life, would the answer still be yeah?
Probably no.
No?
No. Yeah.
So it's impossible for me to do the right thing.
It's impossible for you to stay 100% right. Yes.
So I don't have free will?
Because of Adam and Eve.
So I don't have free will?
You do have free will.
But if I do have free will, then I should be able to do the right thing.
Yes, but
I can do the right thing in every single scenario.
You will not be able to.
No, but wait, so then there's something that's limiting my free will.
Okay, you know the story about Adam and Eve, right?
Is that limiting my free will?
You have free will, but that is your...
I do have free will, so I can do the right thing.
Sin is in the world.
So if I have free will, I can do the right thing, right?
Yes, you are able to do the right thing.
If I can do the right thing, given the fact that I have free will, then clearly in this scenario... right, it is the case that even if the probability is 0.0000000 infinite zeros to 1%, right, there's going to be one reality out of the infinite set of realities in which every single human on the planet does the right thing in every single scenario freely, right? God didn't determine them to do that. They did it themselves, right? And it's one of the possible worlds that could have existed, right? So God sees these different possible worlds that can exist, okay? And there's a world where there's free will and no evil. And then there's also the world that we exist in, free will, and there's also evil, right? So since free will exists in both of those worlds, you're holding free will constant, right? So the distinction between these worlds is that one is evil and the other one does not have evil. Since God has a preference against sin and a preference against evil, that would indicate to us that we would expect to see, or it would entail us that we would see that God would select the world where there is no sin over the world in which there is sin. Right, but given the
I don't know why you're saying realities and worlds. Like God doesn't select realities and worlds. Like it's not like different realities.
God literally does. Yeah, he literally does. He's all knowing.
Where does it mention that in the Bible?
He's all knowing, right? So that means he knows of every single world that could have possibly existed, given that you have free will.
There is only one world.
No, God knows what you would have done, right? God knows that I could have eaten Cinnamon Toast Crunch today rather than Captain Crunch.
He knows what you did.
He knows what I could have done, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a possible world.
Yeah, but God doesn't just change the world. Like he doesn't change the whole reality.
No, I'm not talking about changing the world. What I'm talking about is creating the world. I'm saying before creating the world, God knew all of those outcomes.
Before creating the world, God, yes.
Okay. If God knew all of those outcomes before creating the world, well, then clearly speaking, that tells us that God could have created those worlds, as God is all knowing and all powerful. God can create the world, and God knows of the world's existence.
Yeah, God can create. Yeah, he can.
Okay. So that's why I'm telling you that there are different possible worlds that God could have created.
So you're saying a world where everything was good?
Yeah, and they did it freely. So there's still free will. Because again, there's some level of probability that indicates that you can do the right thing, right? And that's going to be true for every action in your life.
How would there be everything good though if what happened with Adam and Eve? Obviously,
well, that wouldn't have happened because again, there's a possible world where Adam and Eve didn't sin. Do you agree?
That's not true though. Not
so it's not possible for Adam and Eve to have done the right thing.
I'm not going to tell you what's possible or not. I'm going to tell you what happened in the Bible.
No, I'm asking, so they have free will, so that means that they had a choice between doing the right thing and doing the wrong thing. That means that it was possible for them to do the right thing and possible for them to do the wrong thing. If it's possible, then God can select that.
Then he would be limiting our free will.
No, it's not a limit of free will because both of those worlds were still determined by their free will. So God didn't determine the action at all. They determined the action. God just selected the world in which they determined the action.
You're saying, okay, so you're making these hypothetical claims about God choosing the world. But like, what's your point then? I don't get like...
Is that it would entail contradiction. Because, right, since we exist in a world in which there's sin, in which there's evil, that would tell us that God prefers a world where there's evil over a world where there's no evil, holding all else constant, right, i.e. free will. So therefore, that would say that God prefers sin, which is saying that since sin is something that God has a preference against, that God prefers a world in which God has a preference against. It's a clear contradiction.
The only world that exists is the world that the Bible presents. So, yes, the world that we're living in currently is just the world that there is, period. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say. Adam and Eve ate the fruit, they sinned, sin entered the world. That's how it is.
I'm saying there's a contradiction. I'm saying you're literally wrong because there's a contradiction with your worldview.
How?
I just told you the contradiction.
God, he's not going to just change. He's not going to choose just different realities just for good and evil. Like
he's all good. Yeah,
there was no bad. That would also be limiting our free will technically.
No, it's not, because again, it was determined by our free will. God is just selecting a world that was
do good or bad, right?
God is selecting the world that we determined with our free will.
You're saying free will is constant, and then good and evil worlds can change, but the free will itself, like you can choose, like to do good or bad, though.
The free will itself, you can choose to do good or bad.
Yeah, that's what free will is. You can choose.
I understand that you can choose to do good or bad, but this scenario here is that they did choose to do good in every scenario, freely, because again, that was one of the possible worlds.
Like you're just there's so much like domino effect, butterfly effect off of that. Like you're saying something that's unrealistic. What I'm telling you right now,
this isn't unrealistic. It's logically possible. There's no contradiction with this.
My argument is off of what has happened, not of like what if situations.
Yeah, no. The reason why I'm bringing up what if situations. No. The reason why I'm bringing up what if situations is because when we have an explanation, let's say we had an explanation saying that evolution is true, right? What would we expect to see given that evolution is true? We'd expect to see a set of fossil records that indicate genetic similarities amongst different individuals amongst the planet, right? We see that, right? So the prediction that we had, we then verified that within reality, okay? So that's why we talk about what ifs. The predictions here are the what ifs. Is like, what would we expect given this being? And I'm just saying that in this scenario, this is what we would expect. So it would entail a contradiction.
So your argument is based off of what if situations.
Tell me what I just said. If you can't tell me what I just said, I'm going to go on to the next person.
I just heard you. You just talked about you comparing it, and then like that's how you get contradictions, or that's how you get predictions and all that stuff. Yeah, I heard what you said.
That was not even close to what I said. That was just you just said words.
You have to do hypothetical.
I appreciate the corgi. Thank you so much. You literally just said different words that I said. You didn't even just like string them in a sentence. That I was actually coherent. You know. So if you want me to respond to any message, because I don't get to read all the comments, that is probably the best way to send me a message.
Okay, so you said Matthew chapter what?
Oh fuck! I just had it.
You said 13 verse what?
Matthew 13:31 through 32.
Exactly. There is context to it.
And what does it say? Read it. Matt, it's the mustard seed verse.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah. So I'll read it. He told them another parable. Right, the king of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches. All seeds.
Okay, so exactly, it's just a parable. It's not supposed to be taken literally. If someone says the turtle is the slowest animal, the turtle is the slowest, but the turtle beats the hare even though it's the slowest. And someone can say, oh wait, no, it's not the slowest. The koalas might be the slowest. That's not the meaning of what the parable is trying to say. That's not what it's trying to convey.
Yeah. So wait. So hold up. So I thought it, by the way, I thought it did say world. So, I mean, I'm actually confused. I thought I read world before. Maybe I have a different version right now than I did prior. Right. But, when it relates to this,
God the Father, he has also fleshly qualities. It's not complete.
So that doesn't mean anything. So is he not all knowing then?
God is all knowing, but Jesus is the fleshly presentation of God.
Jesus is the fleshly presentation of God.
He's in the flesh.
Yeah, I understand that, right? But is he all-knowing?
Who?
Is he all-knowing?
Who's he?
God.
Yes.
Okay, so even though he's in the flesh, he's still all-knowing.
Yes.
Okay, so he should still know that that's not the smallest seed.
No, actually, no, he's not all-knowing in the flesh. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Oh, it's also in Mark and Luke, by the way, so that might be where I saw it. Let me go to Mark 3, verse 30.
He's not, because he also didn't know the hour.
Matt, that's not the verse. That's not the verse. Mark 3:30 is not the verse. That's referring to spirits.
Jesus is 100% human and 100% God at the same time. So he takes qualities from humans and also qualities from God.
He takes qualities from humans and qualities from God. Okay, but at the end of the day, right, he's still all-knowing, right?
No.
So Jesus is not all-knowing?
I wouldn't say so, no.
So God is not all-knowing?
God, which God the Father?
Wait, but Jesus is God, right?
Yes, in the flesh.
Yeah, if Jesus is God, right? So I got this map. I got it. Don't worry, Matt. If Jesus is God, right, and Jesus isn't all-knowing, well, then God isn't all-knowing.
No, I just told you, Jesus is the flesh, so he takes qualities of humans as well.
Here we go. This is where I fucking got it from. I knew I wasn't wrong. Mark 4:30 through 32. This is a different version of like the parable of the mustard seed. Again, he said, "What shall we say the kingdom of God is like? Or what parable shall we use to describe it? It's like a mustard seed, which is the smallest of seeds on, of all seeds on earth. Yet when planted, it grows and becomes the largest of all garden plants, with such big branches that the birds can perch in its shade. So yeah, this is Mark 4:30 through 32, and it says that this is the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds on the earth.
And that's Jesus talking?
Yeah, this is Jesus talking.
Okay, so what is the point of the parable? What's the context behind it? He's telling a story. It's not that the point is not so that the mustard seed is. That's not the point that he's trying to make.
He still made a false claim, right? He knows that's not true. Why would he make that claim if he knows it's not true? That makes no fucking sense.
Just like I told you, Jesus speaks. No one at the time, like you have to do in the context of the time as well. No one in the time is gonna question that. His thing is
that doesn't matter. He knows that I'm going to question it right now. Jesus literally knew that I was going to question this right now. Why would he do that?
You mean God? Because Jesus is in the fleshly form.
Yeah. Why would God literally do that, knowing that I'm going to question it right now?
Why would God? That's Jesus speaking, though. That's not God speaking.
Wait, Jesus is God.
Bro, I already told you that's God revealed himself in the flesh.
But it's still God, right?
Trinity-wise, yes.
Okay. So, but that's the notion, right? So, I'm confused what you're saying. Man.
Okay. We're just going back and forth at this point. And I have other things to do than just argue.
Okay, are you leaving or are you running away now?
Read your Bible and I'm going to pray for you, all right?
Turn to Shemizus.
That's all I gotta say. And
read the Shmible.
Wait, hold on. Why is being gay? Okay, let's go back to the actual question. I can there's actually biblical. So, do you argue that? Do you deny that biblical text goes against homosexuality?
Do I deny that biblical text goes against? I don't think it's clear.
Okay. Well, have you heard the verse 1 Corinthians 6:9?
Yeah. Arsenokotai, right? So this is there's actually an issue with this, right? That's this extremely vague verse. If you look at the Greek and the Hebrew, I mean not the I can't even speak the Greek, right? Not the Hebrew. Would you like me to bring someone up who can speak Greek who can tell you about that?
No, I don't have time for that, but I just want to say that according to the Bible, homosexuality is wrong, but I think where our argument was.
Oh wait, no, I don't think you have. I think it's extraordinarily vague. Arsenokotai, right, is the first time that was ever used. I appreciate the Coral. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you're two arguments. So you're saying that it's not talking about homosexuality, one, and then two, the Bible is not even a valid standard of absolute truth. Right?
Yeah, it's not a valid standard for moral truths.
All right. I got stuff to do, but that was my take on it. All
right. Later, buddy.
God bless.
All right, we're gonna go into the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. By the way, everyone, we'll be back on the main account tomorrow. Tomorrow is when we will be back on the main account. I'm excited to go back to the main account. Can't fucking wait. We're gonna be doing. What topic shall we do tomorrow, everyone? Shall we do Trump or shall we do body count topic? Yeah, I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. I was thinking either or of those two. What do y'all think? All right, let me go to the next person, everyone. Trump? Yeah, most people are saying Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, 23.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
No. I think it's right if it's who you are.
For sure. I'm just looking for people who disagree, but I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
All right, let's go on to the next person. Please only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. Again, only send a guest request if you do disagree, y'all. Yo, Loch Ness, I appreciate the travel with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Works. By the way, if you are on my live and you did send my live to my sister, what's good? How you doing? Apparently there were like 4 people that sent my live today to my sister or something. That's kind of funny. That like she knows. But yeah, let me go on to the next person, everyone. W sister. All right. I don't know how they knew. I don't know how they knew it was me. So I'd have to see. Maybe it was one of her close friends. I don't even know. I'm like, how do they know it's me? Like, yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm 44, my friend. What's going on?
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I don't think it's wrong. I think that anything we do here, like we're not to judge nobody else. We'll just continue on doing what we're doing because at the end of the day, our opinion or judgment on somebody has no bearing on anybody's life. So,
do you think engaging in gay intercourse is wrong?
Do I think engaging? Me personally, I wouldn't do it. But I mean, again, I ain't knocking nobody else. But I feel like your question, why is being gay wrong? I'm not trying to say it's wrong. What I'm trying to say is the only reason anybody does it wrong is because of religion. That's really about it. You know, they'll say, oh, it's morals and this and that. And then the second thing, because I only believe in when it comes to asking this question, I only believe there's 2 things with people thinking that it's wrong. The second thing is,
are you religious?
I'm spiritual, not religious.
Okay, so you don't think it's wrong because of religion?
I don't think it's wrong because people do what people do, and that's their business.
All right, well,
I'm not here to judge them.
I am just looking for people who disagree, but I appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, can I say one more thing before we get off?
Go for it.
The second thing was having sex. The whole thing for any animal is to reproduce. You're not able to reproduce. So that will be the only reason I would say that anybody should actually say that it, in a sense, could be wrong because you can't continue your species.
And that would also entail things like celibacy would be immoral, right? If it were to extend through the whole life.
Exactly.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't think they would hold to. It would also entail that engaging in intercourse would say, like me, if I engaged in intercourse with an infertile woman, that would be wrong as well.
Again, that's religion. That's religion.
Oral sex would be wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, like all of these things would be wrong. But yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, man.
No problem.
All right, y'all. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates. Again, everyone, tomorrow we should be back on the main account, everyone. We've been on for 3 hours and 37 minutes, everyone. We're going to be on until I think about 7 o'clock here today, everyone. About 7 o'clock is when I'm going to get off here today, everyone. But let me go into the next person, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 28.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yeah, I think it's wrong.
Why so?
I don't think it's normal, and I think it's unnatural.
Okay, so why is it? What does natural mean?
It goes against the laws of nature. That's what I'd say, because you can't reproduce.
Okay. Do you think it's unnatural for someone to be celibate, like never engage in intercourse?
Yeah, no, I do indeed.
Okay. Do you think it's wrong for someone to engage in oral?
Oral? What has that got to do with anything?
Well, it's a sexual action that doesn't lead to reproduction.
No, I mean, but that's just foreplay. That's not full-on intercourse. So that's a false equivalence, I'd say.
You don't consider oral sex?
No, but that's just foreplay, my bro. Like that's not.
So if two
I mean, the whole point of
the
whole point of sex is to reproduce. And I know you're going to say, "Oh, well, there might be some women who can't."
Hold up. Before you do, I just want to ask you a question, right? If it isn't sex or if it's not related to that, well, then a man engaging in oral with another man, is that not wrong?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Wait, how is it wrong? It's not sex. It's not sex.
I said it's foreplay. Foreplay. I mean, it comes under sex, but it's not the same thing.
Why is foreplay between two dudes wrong?
I mean, it's just wrong. I mean, I'm not going to get into the theological reasons. I want to stick to the point that you can't reproduce.
Okay, so it's religious.
The point I want to stick to is that you can't reproduce. And before you say, oh, well, there might be a woman who can't reproduce, well, exceptions don't make the rule, my friend. So you can't use that as an argument.
Wait, so if I engage in intercourse with an infertile woman, it's not wrong?
No. If you're married,
there's no reproduction. There's no reproduction.
It doesn't matter. It's a test from God, and exceptions don't make the rule.
Okay. No, but the point is
a majority of women can have children.
No, the
a majority of women can have children.
You making the claim that if you engage in intercourse and it doesn't lead to reproduction, that is immoral. That claim is wrong, right? Because I gave you a scenario in which there's an exception.
Okay. Let me backtrack a little bit. Then I just say it's wrong because it goes against the laws of nature. And I hear a lot of arguments where people say, "Oh, well, animals do it." But you can't use animals as a way to determine what's right or wrong. It doesn't matter. We're more conscious and we're more conscious and we're more intelligent. Animals eat their own shit. Animals also, kill their own babies. You know what I mean?
Hey,
so you can't use animals as a reason to.
I'm not doing that. Right? Okay. Well, okay. I want you to listen for a second. Okay. When someone just saying that it's natural, that's a descriptive claim. It's not saying whether or not it's right or wrong. Descriptively speaking, it is natural to engage in gay intercourse, right? Many animals do that outside the context of humans because humans are animals. Right?
Animals also eat their own shit. It's normal to eat your own shit.
Appreciate that, Mustache. Thank you so much. Did you hear me, AR? Like, I feel like you're not listening, right? Again, I made the claim that just because something exists within nature does not mean it should be that way. Okay? I'm not making that argument.
Okay.
Right? But what is wrong with two people who are engaging in intercourse consentfully in an adult relation who are gay?
I'd say it. Okay, so I'm assuming you're going by the harm principle, right? So as long as you're not harming anybody else, it shouldn't matter what you do. Is that what you're going by?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so then what's your point?
Well, I just don't.
How do you base that it's okay?
I don't see a reason to consider it to be wrong.
You just don't think it's wrong at all. Is that what you think?
Yeah. What's the reason why it's wrong? Bentley, I appreciate the subscription. Jesse, thank you for the passion rose. I appreciate it.
I mean, I stated my point. I think you can't reproduce. I think if you had a society just full of people who are homosexual, it's finished. Like in one generation, they're gone.
Same thing if you had a society full of people who were just engaged with people who are infertile.
But that's an exception. Like most women are fertile, so that's such a bad
but
point.
Most people are straight. That's an exception too.
Huh? What the hell are you on about? What are you on about, my friend?
Most people are straight. That's also an exception.
Yeah, that's the de facto state.
19% of women in the United States are infertile. Okay, so it's not a small percentage of people that are infertile. Actually, a lot of women.
Where did you get that statistic from?
I can show you.
And did they ask every single woman in America? Like, did that study?
That's not how statistics work.
I mean, did they get every single woman in America to ask? Because that's just 19%. That's cap, my friend.
Appreciate that, Eric. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. I mean,
I do not believe those statistics that you just pointed out. I think that's cap, and I'm not going to buy it, my friend.
All right, I'll give you the source right now. It's from the CDC. It's from 15 to 19 years old. Right.
15 to 19 years old.
Yeah. So this is not even taking into account people past the ages in which could induce like menopause and stuff like that to higher extents. So, right. You can just look it up from the CDC. Look up 19% infertile woman, CDC. Right.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to look into it, but I think that's just cap. Look, like I said, by default, most women can procreate. Like, there's no way in hell you're going to argue against that.
Most people are straight. What's your point?
Yeah, that's a de facto state. And look,
it's not
again,
a de facto state. It just happens to be the case that most people have this characteristic. That would also be saying that the de facto
which states that it's the
would
most.
also be saying that the de facto state would be that we have brown eyes, as most people have brown eyes.
No, that's not the same thing, my friend.
That is exactly the same thing.
No, it's not. A brown eye is not a behavior.
Well, I mean, we're just talking about a characteristic. And again, being gay isn't a behavior.
All I'm going to say is,
hold up. Being gay isn't a behavior either, as being gay is just an attraction.
It's definitely a behavior. You're engaging.
It is a behavior to engage in gay intercourse, right? But someone who's a virgin can still be gay. Someone who's a virgin can still be straight because it's based upon the attraction.
Okay. What's your point?
Yeah, you don't have to engage in intercourse to be considered gay or straight. So
yeah. I mean, I'm like, okay. So if someone is in that particular state where they feel gay, etc., as long as they're not acting on their urges, I'd like that's something I'd say is godly. But yeah, that's what it really. Because for me, is the act itself.
So this relates to God. Okay, so how do you know?
Okay, so it relates to God. No, it relates to God for sure. But I'm looking at it from a different perspective as well. That's why I brought up nature. That's why I brought up a lot of other things. You know, I can say a few other more things, but I think it's a bit too much. So I'm gonna kind of retract on that. So I'm just gonna kind of hold back a little bit. But yeah, you know, I'm not gonna get into the theological discussion because we're never gonna agree on this. You know, you don't believe God exists.
So much.
Yeah, you don't believe God exists. I'm not going to bother.
But if you have no justification for your worldview,
no, my justification is that it's unnatural. I already told you that you can't procreate.
But this relates on. Hold up. This relates to religion, though. That's the reason why.
No. Yeah, but okay, fine. Part of it is religion, but part of it is using my intellect.
I gave you a scenario, and it was not based on reproduction. I gave you a scenario where a man engages in intercourse with an infertile woman. You didn't consider it to be wrong. Maddie, I appreciate the pop. Thank you so much.
Because he's not going against nature. You know what I mean? He's doing like, he's not going against nature.
What you determine
he's not going against the natural state, like the default state.
What goes against nature? Because your determinant of what goes against nature was whether or not something leads to reproduction. In this scenario, it didn't lead to reproduction. Therefore, under your view, would not be considered natural. Okay, so you're determining.
No, but he's with a being. He's with a being that I'd say has reproductive. Like has the right reproductive like key, if that makes sense. Because what I was gonna get at is, you know, like we can create life with a woman. With a man, you can never ever create life. That like
never ever with an infertile woman.
That doesn't matter. Exceptions do not make the rule. Exceptions don't make the rule. Exceptions do not make the rule.
We're talking about gay people engaging in intercourse. What are you talking about?
What were you on about? I don't understand. What do you mean? Say that last point again.
What are you on about, right? If we're talking about all of our I mean, you said exceptions, right? Well, gay people would technically, under your view, if you considered infertile people an exception, would be an exception too.
No, not at all.
Yes, it would be, right? What are you talking about?
Why would there be an exception?
Well, because it makes up less a percentage of the population, right? Or about
but that's
the same.
Not my point.
Let me finish. Stop talking. Bro. Let me finish, man. Holy fuck! The reason why I have to keep cutting you off is because you constantly keep cutting me off over and over again.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Damn, dude. Sorry, I don't even remember what I was saying. Can you remind me?
Something about exceptions.
Yeah. So technically, right, in the amount of infertile people, that's more, right, or about the same as the amount of people who are infertile.
Wait, so say that again?
So the amount of people who are infertile is about the same as the amount of people who are gay.
Stop the cap. I
just gave you a source. Again, look up CDC.
I don't care what the source says. That is absolute bollocks, bro. You know that's not true.
It's not bollocks, right? It's literally facts of reality.
You know that's not the truth. Anyway, look. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me say my point. Yeah, the point I was getting at wasn't basically what I'm saying is. Okay, so when I say exceptions don't make the rule, I'm referring to just because there is some women who can't give birth, you can't like that doesn't I'm struggling to like formulate it.
Yeah.
No, it's not because I'm stuck, but it's
what is it then?
Let me think it through.
Okay.
Yeah, look, what I'd say is, by default, most women can give birth. Just because there's some that can't give birth, you can't use it as an example because exceptions don't make the rule. That's what I was getting at.
Most people are straight, so you can't bring up the fact that people are gay because that's an exception. Like what? Like that's literally what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
What you just said,
I'm saying you guys can't.
Again, the amount of infertile people.
Let me finish. I'm saying even though there's some exceptions where they can't reproduce, most can reproduce, and if anything, we can at least have babies with women. Men can never ever have children, no matter what. It's impossible. There's no possibility. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Just because
there's no possibility if you engage in intercourse with an infertile woman that it's going to lead to any type of pregnancy.
So what? Just because there's some that can't give birth or can't get pregnant doesn't mean that there's.
Oh my gosh, AR, you're not listening to me, right? Just because there are some people that are gay, it doesn't mean that you can reference that then either, right? Every single person who's gay, every single person who's infertile cannot produce children in the same way that every person who's gay who engages in intercourse with another person who's gay
that's just a weak argument, man.
Produce children. That's not a weak argument. It's the facts of reality, and you're not acknowledging them.
You're disregarding like how you're just disregarding nature. That's all I'm saying. You're throwing nature under the bus.
No, I'm not.
Absolutely
are. Even then, I'll do it. Wait. Do you think it's wrong for me to be playing video games right now, to be talking to you on the internet, to use a phone that's not natural?
No.
Oh, okay. So whatever something's natural doesn't mean anything.
Actually, I can argue. Actually, I can argue. If you excessively do that, I can argue it's wrong, because then you.
Okay, do I excessively do it?
I don't know you.
I go live for 6 hours every single day and debate people. You excessive?
I'd say so. But you're making money, right? So I can't knock you for
it. It's excessive. So like, I'm doing something wrong here.
Yeah. But look, we're never going to agree to this, innit? Look, the way I look at things is, look, live and let live. You do your own thing. Yeah, I'll do my own thing. It is what it is. I'm not going to agree with it, but it doesn't mean like if I see someone who's gay or trans or whatever, I'm going to disrespect them, bully them, whatever. They can do their own thing. So, but I'm just telling you how I feel about the whole situation.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you like money?
Of course I like money. Who doesn't?
Is money natural?
Is money natural? I'd say, don't know. There's always something's right and whether something's wrong. You're talking about
being gay is not wrong.
Well, yeah, according to you.
Yeah, you just said I have the ability to determine what's right and what's wrong. I just did.
Yeah, that's up to you, my friend.
Base. Wait, so like, what's the issue? Did he just leave chat? What's going on? Tap that screen, everyone. In the meantime, let's try to get to 500,000 likes. If you want to help get it out to more people, share the live. Let's try to get it up to 500 shares, everyone. By the way, everyone, tomorrow we should be back on the main account. So again, tomorrow we should be back on the main account. Make sure to follow me here if you haven't already, because this is where I'll go in case I do get bananaed anytime. You can follow me here. Plus, if you want to see any of my chill lives where I just like go chill with the chat, go to Parker Needs a Job. Look that up. That's my third account where I'm going to be doing chill lives. But AR, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Say
what was your last point? Oh yeah. So what I was going to say is, look, at the end of the day, you guys can do what you want. It is what it is. But like the paradigm that I come from, and I'm not a Christian, but we believe that you either worship God or you worship your own desires and you worship the self. And at the end of the day, we have free will, so do what you want to do, and you'll be, we'll all be held accountable at the end. So that's it.
Yeah. So again, right? It just seems like there's not going to be a justification for accepting this religion in the first place. Right.
Yeah. On your end,
but we can show contradictions with the worldview, right? Not only that.
Yeah, the thing is that I'd love to have a discussion with you on that, but I'm not. Obviously, I have firm belief in my faith. I practice it. But again, I'm not going to have a discussion about something where my knowledge isn't at its best. That's why I came at it from a different angle.
Okay. So if I were just to hold the belief that, like, I don't know, that there's an evil God that exists that sends all the people who have faith to hell and all the people that do not have faith to heaven, if I were to believe in that, is it justified just based upon faith?
Say that question again.
Yeah. If I believe in this evil God that sends all the different people who believe in like the common mainstream religions like Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Christianity, all of those people who have faiths in that, they'll go to hell, right? Because he's soul harvesting them, right? But everyone who didn't have faith in those religions, they go to heaven, right? So am I justified in believing in this religion?
And do you think that
votes your boat?
Okay. All right. Well,
no, I don't think being gay is wrong.
Take care of yourself. Hope you make lots and lots of money, and enjoy the rest of your life, my friend.
Man, have a good day.
You too.
All right, let's go to the next person. Again, if you like the content, follow me if you've already. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
More time?
Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I do not think it is wrong. It is only wrong according to the people who wrote the Bible.
And you
Honestly,
don't believe in the Bible. You don't like you're not a Christian.
Don't get me wrong. I'm an atheist, but if you really are Christ-like and try to teach and pass on what you know and be good to one another, I respect you. Because only good can come from that. I apologize. I've been drinking and whatnot, and I'm a little flustered about a lot of this. There's so
you're
much...
good. Don't worry. I just want to let you know I am just looking for people who disagree. Does sound like you agree, so I hope you have a fun night. Drunk as fuck. Have a good day, bro. All right, everyone's going to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. Just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
How old am I? 24.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Immoral? I don't think it's immoral, but it's wrong.
Why is it wrong?
So, I think lesbians are good, and I think gay is wrong.
Why?
If I see two gay guys kissing in the street, I just can't watch it.
Okay. If two dogs are engaging in intercourse, right? Can you watch that?
What, dogs?
Yeah, can you watch that?
No, I can't watch.
Is it wrong?
Two dogs having intercourse.
Yeah. Is it wrong?
Yeah, it's bestiality. Yeah, of course, it's animal sex.
Two dogs themselves?
Yeah. Well, so you like watching animal sex?
No, I don't. I don't. No, what I'm saying is, dude, what I'm saying is that you consider it gross, right? Right. Yeah. Yet you don't need to watch it, right? You don't want to watch it.
I don't want to watch animals do it.
Yeah, and you honestly, you consider it wrong. That's not something I expected, but like, so you consider any intercourse amongst animals, just animals and other animals themselves, right? You consider that to be wrong.
Yeah, I don't mind watching a man and a woman. I don't mind watching two women.
So you'd watch a man and a woman engage in intercourse?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'd love that.
You're trolling, bro. I can't do it, dude.
What do you mean I'm trolling?
I heard him laugh, dude. I can't do it, dude. I can't do it, dude. He's got to be trolling, chat. I'm sorry.
Let's request that.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, what's up? I'm 28.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
I don't think it's wrong at all. Are you looking for people who think it's wrong? I've only just joined your live.
Yeah, we're just looking for people who think it's wrong. Appreciate you coming on. Just looking for some debates, everyone. Again, only send a guest request if you disagree. Again, just looking for some debates, y'all. Just looking for debates. If you don't disagree, I am going to kick you out, everyone. We're on British TikTok today. British TikTok. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, shit.
How old are you? Oh, okay, they left. Let's go on to the next person. Again, only send a guest request if you disagree. Again, just looking for some debates, everyone. The British are coming. The British are coming. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
It was up. 23.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Being gay is really, really wrong. Really
Why?
wrong. Because supposing, let me just say this. Literally, I'm not trying to like demean anybody, but I'm trying to say literally, I've never seen, let's say, a male cat and another male cat mating. Okay. So if cats don't do that, dogs don't do that, why should you, a human, do that?
Dogs do that, and there are dogs that literally attack and maul babies. Does that mean we should attack and maul babies?
What?
There are dogs that attack and maul babies. Does that mean we should attack and maul babies?
Dogs attack maul babies.
Yeah. Appreciate the Pantapause. Thank you so much. There are some dogs that attack and maul babies, okay? Alive. Does that mean that we should do that?
No, we shouldn't.
No. Secondly, right, there are hundreds of species, thousands, right, that literally exhibit homosexual intercourse, right? But just because something exists within nature doesn't mean it should be that way, right? But there's fundamentally nothing wrong with two consenting adults engaging in intercourse who are gay.
But it actually should be that way though, because that's how nature has brought us to be. You know, we are literally trying to alter what nature has trying to put us in course.
Can you say that again? I couldn't quite hear you.
I'm saying that's how actually it's supposed to be, because if we try to alter what nature has put us through, it's kind of like going against nature, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, you're on your phone right now. I don't think you care about going against nature.
No, listen.
You're literally talking to me on a cellular device.
Yeah, I am.
Is that natural? Do you see other animals doing that?
Come on, why? This is about sexuality. It's not me and a phone. Come on, this is about just
no. I'm just asking you a basic question. Do you see rams fucking texting their friends?
No, this is about sexuality and not non-living things.
We were talking about what's natural, right? And this is not natural.
No, this is never natural.
Yeah, exactly. And do you think it's wrong?
Okay, hold on. Let's just make it this way. Look.
Okay.
Supposing it's a gender reveal. Supposing it's a gender reveal party. How many genders are in a gender reveal party though?
Two.
Two, right? Good. So if nobody said this baby is gonna be gay, this baby is gonna be bisexual, it's simply gonna be he's male or female, or he's a boy or he's a girl. So it really doesn't matter if it doesn't really speak well if gay is. It doesn't really speak well if somebody says he's gay, because you're literally trying to alter how it goes, how the nature is supposed to go. It's been set before us, and that's what we're supposed to follow. We don't really have to change anything, you know?
So just because things have happened throughout history doesn't mean it should happen that way. For example, throughout history, children were married to adults, like 12 to 16-year-old little girls were married to adult men. Does that mean that should happen?
Come again? I didn't get what you say.
Yeah, throughout history, it was the case that little girls, 12 to 16-year-old little girls, were married to adult men, right? Just because that happened throughout history, traditionally speaking, does that mean it should happen?
Well, I don't really think marrying girls at early age is something that goes against nature or goes against the the sexual basis of nature, though.
No, the way that you determine nature was like saying, "Oh, society's been like this for a long time."
Yeah, exactly. Society.
Yeah, so society has been like that for a very long time. Therefore, that would be what's considered natural. So, since that's considered natural, is that considered right for children to be married to adults?
Sure. That's actually according to the child's will. If the child is really,
Do you think that's okay?
if the child is willing to get married, then I mean that's a choice.
Oh my God, no! Oh God! Oh fucking God! Oh God, no! The child can't be willing to engage in that.
Well, obviously, no child will be willing to engage in that, but so literally.
Wait, no. So if a 12-year-old little girl wants to have intercourse with a member from One Direction, should that be allowed because she wants it?
So literally, you're saying if a child wants to have sex with another child, if a female.
No, if a child wants to have sex with an adult man, right? Should they be able to do it because they quote unquote want to?
If they want to.
You think it should be allowed if they quote unquote want to?
If they want to, yeah. They should go for it. But if they don't, well, probably they should just.
I can't do it, dude. Why does this happen? Why does this happen? What do you fucking mean, dude? Dude, what do you mean? A child cannot fucking consent, dude. What do you mean? What do you mean a child, if even if they want to that, right? That doesn't mean that they should be allowed to engage with an adult. FBI, open up! Sorry.
Nah, man. Nah. Kids actually don't have to do that, Kids don't have. They don't actually have.
They should not be allowed. They should not be allowed to do that.
Sexual intercourse.
Right? They should not be allowed to do that.
Definitely.
Okay, they should not.
No,
okay.
They should never be allowed.
Okay. Fucking hell, dude. Goddamn. Okay, so since they should not be allowed to do that, right?
Bro, you freaked out.
Clearly speaking, just because something is a particular way does not mean it should be that way, right?
Well, you know, we are talking about sexuality here, though. If we are going to be specific here, So when it comes to sexuality, is actually going to be sexuality actually involves two or more mature minds, So let's say if a man and a child can't agree on something sexual, definitely one has more knowledge than the other. And
Sophia,
also,
I appreciate the Venmo. Thank you so much, Sophia.
That's why it takes two adults to try and fix something sexual.
It takes two adults to fix something sexual? Is that what you said?
Yep.
I'm confused what you're trying to say there. Hello? Hello? Yeah, so what were you trying to say there?
Hello? I said it takes two adults to fix something sexual. You can't fix something sexual if the other party is a kid or it's a child.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so because in order to consent, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so when it relates to this, so the point I'm trying to make is that just because something is a particular way throughout society does not mean it should be that way. And the argument you were making earlier was saying that just because it is this way, right, in terms of like throughout society, it is the case that that this has been considered wrong, right? It should be. right? I appreciate the corky. Thank you so much. Or unnatural, right? It should be considered unnatural, right? But that's not entailed given the fact that you reject it in other scenarios. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Because my network is really, really messing up.
Yeah, it's fine. I can go on to the next person. Is there anything else you want to add or talk about?
Well, yeah, literally, if you really like to do something, just if you really, but I'm just trying to say one more thing though. As you were a kid, as you were growing up, I mean, you grow up to literally, you grow up with male and female. So when you grow up, you get to decide which side you're on. So I guess that's something personal though. If being gay is wrong,
I don't think you decide which side you're on. Can you choose to find me sexually arousing right now?
Literally no, because I'm not gay.
No? Okay, so if you can't choose to find me sexually arousing, how come some people in the chat can find me arousing right now? Okay, that sounds really weird. How come some people are attracted to me? That's a really weird way to put it.
That's because they literally didn't grow up with that though, but literally they had their mind tempered with, because nobody actually grows up to find the same sex attractive.
No one grows up. Yeah, people find the same sex attractive, right? Absolutely, people do. What are you talking about? Right? So if you think that other people can't choose it, what makes you think that, I mean, if you can't choose it, what makes you think that other people can? What was the reason?
Literally anybody who chooses to be gay is literally trying
that
or
mustache,
has
thank
literally
you.
been brainwashed. Because I mean, you can't literally just wake up one day and decide to be gay. It's weird, man.
You can't just, yeah, no, people don't just wake up and decide to be gay. People are gay. Right.
No, what I mean is you can't just, people don't just get up and be gay. They get brainwashed. That's what I mean.
People don't just
grow up
get up. Wait, so
straight.
what makes you think that people are brainwashed into being gay?
Because it's actually a natural fundamental for us to be attracted to the opposite sex. It's supposed to be that way, not same sex.
It's unnatural for us to be attracted to the same sex?
No,
Again,
it's
you made a claim that it's unnatural because most of society has thought that throughout history. That doesn't mean that it is that way. Again, in the same sort of way that when I brought up that just because it was the case throughout history that, you know, children were married to adults, that doesn't mean it should be that way.
What?
Right. Again, we just pointed out just because something is a particular way does not mean it should be considered that way. Remember we just went over that?
Well, that's different when it comes to sexuality, because sexuality is something that has been carried on before us. It is through that kind of sexuality that you and I are here though. Because if it wasn't a man and a woman who had sex, I don't think probably we would be here by now, isn't it?
If a man and woman didn't have sex, we wouldn't be here. Okay, sure, right? If my dad didn't get divorced, right, I wouldn't be here either. Does that mean that it was like he should have gotten divorced?
No, divorce
Okay.
divorce doesn't actually interfere with sexuality. Sexuality is, we are talking about man and a woman over here, not a man and a man. Do you get it? So you're saying, okay, supposing the first man and supposing the first man never had sex with the first woman, what do you think will happen?
Wait, sorry, say that one more time.
Supposing the first man never had sex with the first woman, and instead the first man had sex with the first man, what do you think would happen?
If it was if it was just two men from the beginning, what do I think would happen?
Exactly. Do you really think?
I don't think that there would be reproduction. What you're talking about?
Exactly.
Wait, but if Eve was infertile, there wouldn't have been reproduction either.
What? No.
Yeah. If Eve was infertile, that wouldn't have been reproduction either.
Come on, listen, yo, you're just trying to pull my legs here. Relax. Eve.
How am I trying to pull your leg?
Eve is literally supposed to be fertile. We are talking about, okay, just put it this way. If Eve was fertile, okay, Eve was fertile and Adam was fertile, and they had sex, good, they gave birth. But supposing
Appreciate the crown, thank
Eve
you.
was a man, supposing Eve was a man and Adam was a man, do you really think the race is gonna go on? Like, do you really think so? No.
Do I really think that what's going to go on? Sorry.
The human race is going to go on.
Dude, again, we've already said, right? People who are gay, they could reproduce through IVF, in vitro fertilization, right? That can happen, very clearly speaking. So I don't see a reason why that can't. Secondly, people who are gay could produce children with the opposite sex, as they've done throughout history. And then third of all, when it relates to this, just because something cannot lead to reproduction doesn't mean it's wrong. I gave you a scenario in which a man engages in intercourse with like a woman who's infertile, right? That doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Wait, hold on. How does a man get fertile? How does a man produce? I really don't get it. How does a man reproduce?
Thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. How does a man and a man reproduce?
Yeah.
They don't reproduce together.
Good. So literally being gay is literally going to be a threat to the human race. Do you get it now?
It's not a threat to the human race, no. Right, the same way that people being infertile isn't a threat to the human race.
Being infertile is not a choice, you know. If you're infertile, it's probably because of genetics or probably some kind of illness. But you choosing to be gay is literally an intentional threat.
Wait, you don't choose to be gay. You can act upon being gay, right? But that doesn't mean you choose to be gay.
No, people don't really grow up being gay, though, you know.
People don't grow up being gay. No, people. Wait, what are you talking about? People find out that they're gay very early on in their lives.
No. People tend to be gay as they get older. That's what I mean. As they're younger, they don't actually.
No, they'll come out as gay as they get older, right? But that doesn't mean that they'll become gay. Hello? Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man? Did you hear what I said?
I didn't know what you said. Can you kind of repeat it?
I actually kind of don't remember. I think I was relating to like the infertile idea. Sorry.
Oh, right. Wait, I'm trying to read what somebody said in the comment. It was like, so me choosing not to want children is immoral. No,
You choosing
nobody's talking about.
not to want what?
Someone said me choosing not to want children is immoral.
How is that immoral?
You can ask again, bro.
You
Jamal.
don't choose to like or not to like, right?
Jamal said that.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, dude, this is the first.
What's up? Are you gonna answer, bro? Bro, are you good? Okay, I'm sorry, chat. I can't do this anymore. He's like taking forever to respond. Did Dean respond to everyone? He didn't respond to my message, but I'm pretty sure he saw my message. I'm not quite sure though, because I was messaging him about I'm pretty sure he said it on live. We're doing the same topic right now. Might as well like combine. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, no. If Dean's down, I'm down. I messaged him, but he didn't say. He didn't say, is Dean your brother? No. Dean says he wants to go live. Okay, I'm down. Should I join him? Should I join him and raid him, or like what do we do? Should we raid him? No, please don't. If you don't want me to, I won't. Chat. He said either. Yeah, I mean, we can go raid him. Y'all want to do him? Yeah, we can join him.
Man
Saying
cannot
who you're
choose to be
attracted to
sexually
is
aroused
boys.
by a woman.
What did you say?
A gay man can't choose to be sexually aroused by a woman? Thank you for the hat mustache.
Yeah, but he can
Linda.
choose to be with a woman.
Yeah, but he can't choose to like have kids with a woman because he can't choose to be sexually attracted to her, therefore can't choose to, like be sexually aroused, and sexual arousal is a necessary prerequisite for intercourse. Right?
Not necessarily. There's people who take medication with that. See, that's another issue.
So like now you're advocating for like these ideals that are effectively going to be like poisoning that of grape. Like the
Or
idea
you
of
can
like
choose-
grape. No, like the idea of grape.
What is grape?
So
What
like
is-
grape, like it's called like grape. It's called like
Oh.
GR. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I
Grape,
mean?
yeah,
He's coming.
like-
All right, Parker's coming, y'all. Let's fucking go. Yeah. So like if you're like poisoning these ideas that like homosexual individuals should just like choose to just like be with other women even though they're not attracted to them, they don't want to be with them, you're just advocating for like very poor like ideologies that have like just that's terrible. Are you kidding me?
Why would it be terrible? I think it's worse to act on those impulses and
Yeah, so
you
why
know,
is homosexuality
like for example,
wrong?
like
Why
if
is
you were
homosexual intercourse
attracted.
wrong? Also,
What'd you
Parker,
say?
thank you so much for the raid. By the way, we're going to be getting Parker in here. Everyone from Parker's stream, welcome in. So yes, why is homosexuality wrong?
I told you why a society cannot function if most of the population is gay, and we shouldn't be normalizing this because
Right. So
then
could society function if like of most of the population was infertile, or like earlier? Like let's be more specific.
yeah,
here.
they wouldn't be able to. No,
Right.
if
So then,
most
like
of society
earlier,
was
so
in-
like I want to be very specific here. So earlier, you said it was not wrong to be a woman over the age of 55, but if I magically snap my fingers and all of a sudden every woman in the country was of the age of 55 or over, you know, like then society wouldn't be able to
Okay,
function.
yes.
And this would just like
Yes,
completely
that's-
disregard
you're
this
completely
notion
right, yeah.
of like normality or wrongness to do with like sexual reproductive ability.
that would be wrong. If half of society was over 50 years old, we would look at this society and be like,
Right.
wait, something is wrong. They're missing their young people. They're missing, like, they won't be able to continue.
Right. So, but like, is it wrong to do with the percentages? Like, yeah. But the thing is like, not every woman is over the age of 50. Just like not everyone is gay.
Yes, but the way that we continue to normalize it, and if we're out about and we're saying how it's not wrong and how it's okay, and you can be with whoever you want to be, because there's lots of people like that they wouldn't even be with another person unless, but they are because of how normalized it is. They wouldn't even be with the same sex because
Right.
they
So like,
they
you're
didn't.
implying that like normalization of being gay is going to like, you know, like preclude to like more gay people. But like being gay isn't a choice, so the amount of gay people isn't going to be affected by an external factor
No,
such as
I
societal
understand
normalization.
your
So like, thank you
impulses
so
and
much for
your-
the galaxy. Thank you.
But the way you act on them is a choice. So you can choose who you want to be with. You can choose to be
Well,
with nobody.
Now,
You
Miriam,
choose
can you
to be with
choose?
someone?
Can you choose
What?
to be with another woman right now?
Yes, I
Can you
can.
choose to like be sexually aroused by a woman?
Sexual aroused? No, but if I'm attracted to them, like,
So
I would be.
You can choose who you want to be with, but you can't choose who you're sexually aroused to. That doesn't make any sense. Also, welcome in Parker. Welcome Parker. Hey there.
Yeah, what's good? I'll just ask one question, right? Can you choose to be attracted to your mother?
No, but you can be though. There's some people who they are attracted to their mother.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be
But you
something
can
they choose.
not to be with them though.
I appreciate you can choose not to act upon it, but you can't choose whether or not to have that attraction. So the idea is that if you can't choose your sexual attraction, right? What makes you think that other people can?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Thank you. I appreciate all the gifts, everyone. If you can't choose your sexual attraction, what makes you think that other people can?
I said that they can't choose who they're attracted to, but they can choose who they want to be with.
Like they can choose what to act upon, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we would both agree with that, right? Just not like in terms of deciding what their attraction is.
Yeah, no, because we all have impulsivities, and like what I said, there are some people out there that would be attracted to their mother, but they can choose not to act upon it, and no one would know, and no one would like. They choose to like deal with those emotions and go to therapy, whatever, and not. There's some people who are attracted to young children, but there are people who are attracted to their brother, their sister, but they choose not to act on it. But if they would, you see how that would kind of be wrong because it's not really.
Well, we could bring up why it's wrong in those scenarios. Can you bring up why it's wrong for someone to engage in a consenting adult gay relationship?
Well, can you bring up the same reasons why it would be wrong for someone who, like a brother and a sister being together and they're adults?
Yeah, they grew up in the same household. There's a familial power dynamic there that removes one's ability to consent due to that type of familial relationship. And we could see the same thing to exist amongst a parent
But how
and a
does
child.
that remove their?
Well, I'll
way
give
that
you
they
an
consent?
example, right? Like, for example, if someone adopts a child, right, raises them throughout the context of their whole life, right, once they reach the age of 18, then tries to engage in intercourse with them, right, would you still say that that's consentful? Or do you think that
No,
there's could be
because
some type of power dynamic that can...
there's like an authority figure over there. But with a brother and sister, there isn't. Like, let's say like 2-year age gap or whatever. Let's say they grew up somewhere else and they finally, like, apart from each other, they meet and then they decide like.
Well, there's a sense of authority within the respect that they're like familial, right?
Who has authority over someone else who doesn't have consent?
Technically, in certain senses, right, we could have power over each other within certain respects because of this loving bond that's supposed to exist between family members, right? Because of the fact that you grew up together, right?
But you didn't.
So if it is the case that like they didn't grow up together, right, that would be a completely different relation. Like the same thing applies to like stepkids.
What'd you say?
The same thing applies to like step siblings, right? If they grew up together in the same household, it can produce a type of relationship, right, that would necessarily not allow for each other to consent because of these like dynamics, these family dynamics.
Yeah, just leave it like a coercive, like a authoritarian, related dynamic, right? Like for the same reason that we deem it as immoral for like professors to sleep with their students. Like this is going to be
I understand
like one of the reasons why
wrong.
like
because there is like a position of a. What'd you say?
Yeah, so this same type of coercive like relationship can be like made by individuals growing up in the same household together, right? And then not to mention like there's other reasons why incest is wrong, right? Because what we can see from like procreation of insects is going to be like a lower like really bad quality of life and like the produced offspring, right? So there's so many reasons why there's so many reasons why this action is wrong, yet there's not one reason why homosexual intercourse is wrong. And why do I say this? Because you haven't named one. You're just basically saying, it shouldn't be the case.
Okay, like what you said about the procreation with a brother and sister, how they would have a low quality of life. Well, there is no procreation at all with two gay people. And so then if we normalize how this is okay or whatever, and more people are acting on their impulses of like, being attracted to another woman, being attracted to another man of the same sex, whatever. Now they're acting upon it because they've been told that that's okay, that's normal, that's not right. That's not right. I mean, that's not wrong.
If there's a gay person that acts on it, like if there's a gay person, that acts upon sexual, like if there's a gay person that acts upon like homosexual urges or doesn't act upon them. So if it's not societally accepted and they don't act upon them, they're not going to have kids. If it is societally accepted and they do act upon them, they're not going to have kids. It's going to yield the same result in either case.
Can you say that again? I didn't hear half of that. I'm sorry.
So irregardless of how societally accepted it is, and irregardless...
Yes?
Pineapple, thank you so much for the hanging lights.
Just on a live on TikTok. No one.
She's saying that she doesn't like gay people. She's saying she doesn't like gay people.
Yes, I am.
She's saying she doesn't like gay people.
Nothing.
For the hand lights. I'm just kidding.
No, oh my gosh. What?
She's homophobic. She's homophobic.
Okay.
She's homophobic.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. My dad is so annoying with my college classes.
Anyways, so irregardless of how societally accepted like being gay is, this is not going to have any influence on offspring produced, right? So if it isn't societally, no, I need you to follow. I need you to track, right? I need you to track. So if it isn't societally accepted, then there's a higher likelihood that they're not going to engage in homosexual intercourse. Yes. And when it is societally accepted, there's a higher likelihood that they are going to engage in homosexual intercourse. Yes. But regardless of their likelihood to engage in homosexual intercourse, this does not yield like any kids, right? So it doesn't change the fact that no kids are going to come out of this.
But if they choose to be with, the opposite gender, they will have kids.
Right, and you can't choose to be with someone that falls out of who you're sexually attracted to.
That is not true. There's lots of people who choose to be with someone